hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. This is Tbone here, logging in with another live stream for the 20th of October 2023. It's been a really wet, miserable day in the UK, but we're here to brighten your souls and, you know, and put a smile on your face on a Friday night. So it is the turn of Satisfactory, and as per usual, well, it's almost becoming a regular event, but I don't really mind, to be fair. It is the Wizard of West Canada, the Sensei of Satisfactory. Please welcome to the show D from Tboneisgaming. Hello, D.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
It's a great day here in Canada.
That's good. That's good. So, okay, so in that case, what we'll do is we'll get back into the game and get on with it. I think that sounds like a great idea. Okay, so here I am. I'm outside the coal power plant at the moment that I've been building for the past couple of weeks or so. And D, I gather you're doing the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm off at the pond or whatever you want to call this.
Yep.
And I'm basically been doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that you're building the water tower at the moment.
Yeah.
Cool.
This was my pièce de résistance.
So for those of you that have joined D's stream, then it's great to see you there. So hello to Cuba and hello to the tank as well. So I gather the tank likes your mug, D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got a similar one, although mine's the smaller version. I just checked. To be fair, Cuba, I've got both chats side by side. So it's just one of those things. So you know, I can just see either. But I'm amazed D's awake. Actually, has to be said, because you've been playing the hell out of what is it, Conan Exile?
Conan Exiles.
Yeah, that's it. And
when we start a game like that, you have to go.
Yeah.
You gotta go. It's the way it is.
Yeah, you've been saying with the game like that it's that is the case.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I'm just going to turn you up a little bit on in sound.
Oh, glad you mentioned it. I gotta turn my game sound on.
Oops. Well, we're doing well then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're fine. It's good.
It's all good. Yeah. So if I don't know if so for those of you in my chat and who are around. So hello to the usual people and anyone that's joining us today. It's lovely to see you all. So D's been kicking the hell out of Conan Exiles. In fact, and of course, as far as D's concerned, it's all my fault.
We were joking about that.
No.
Your computer went down.
Yeah.
I know, your computer went down, which is fine. It happens, but it just didn't get up in time.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting around going, well, what are we going to play? What are we going to play? And a friend of mine that joins me all the time said, hey, you know, I've been bugging you to go back to Conan Exiles. They've done boatloads of updates in 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very well-supported game. You know, it's, I don't know. I'd have to say, I mean, it wasn't all that buggy when it was early access, because that's when we started playing it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I mean, it was a decent game. I don't know. It worked for me.
Fair enough. And what do you think? I mean, what do you think of the game now?
Oh, it's awesome.
Cool. Glad you're enjoying it.
They've done so much to it. We haven't even begun to get all of the well, basically the downloadable content for it, we have yet to begin, really.
I'm amazed you managed to get... yeah, okay. I'm amazed you managed to get Wii to play it, though, because I didn't know whether that was going to be in her wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah, that's... Well, I'll put it this way. She won't play factory games. Like, I seriously have trouble getting her in to play games like this.
Yeah.
Because she's like, well, what am I going to do? To me, you have to be a builder to play a factory game, right?
Yeah,
we
pretty
chatted
much.
about that.
Yeah.
You have to be. It is what it is, which is fine. She'll join me on Satisfactory,
Yeah.
but it's not really... she doesn't build. Like, she won't help with a factory. She won't, even put down power poles or, like a transport tube or anything. Nothing. So it's kind of fun to try to get her to play a factory game. But survival, RPG, oh no, dude, that's her. That's absolutely her. That's why we jokingly call her Wee the Farmer.
Mm-hmm.
She cooks and farms in every single RPG style, whatever survival that we play. It's every single one.
Yeah.
Now, she does have her, well, basically there's nudity in the game, so she has hers turned off, whereas all the rest of us have ours turned on.
Yeah, I noticed that when you died once.
Yeah. We're a bunch of male pigs. It is how it is. Achievement unlocked, sleep deprived. Yeah, no doubt, dude.
Yeah, I think we both are, to be fair, because I mean, I woke up at about 6 in the morning and, caught D still playing Conan. Yeah, no doubt I'm sleep deprived. I'm putting way too many power poles in. But, yeah, I mean... How many hours have you actually played in that? On that session now?
I could get you a number, but let's just go on average. 10. I'm at the 10th. I'm done the 10th episode, and everyone is either 4.5 to 6 hours. So let's just say 5.
Wow.
Which means it's 50 hours we've got into the game already.
Yeah, and you're doing sort of split streams and all that kind of stuff?
Well, basically I'd get up, start streaming. I might do a couple things around the base, but I pretty much have been. I haven't done it because I thought people, would flock to it and all the rest of it. It's more of a recording of a journey.
I suppose.
Yeah, it's just building. Now, once we get to the adventure part of it, where the base is built, then that's more adventure, and to me, that's more. That I don't know. That might be more what people want to watch, but
maybe
it was more of a. Oh yeah, I don't know either. I thought it was more of a travel venture.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly possible.
I think it was more a case of we really wanted to play the game, rather than I wanted to bring something to my channel that might do me some good. Not that I don't care about the channel or nothing like that. Don't take it that way, channel. But it's more of a that one's more for me. And once in a while, we got to do things that's for us.
Well, there is that side to it. I mean, at the end of the day, one of the things they always say about channel creation and everything else is that you have to show your passion. So for you, it seems that survival games and RPG is very much your wheelhouse, as well as obviously factory building.
Yeah.
And
that's. I mean, I don't mind simulations like you do. I'm rather amazed by what you can do in a simulation. You know what I mean? Like the air traffic control one.
Yeah, yeah. And that's part of the reason why I've downloaded. So I can't afford the current version. Well, I can't afford the current version of Microsoft Flight Sim because it's about £100 for the full version. So, which is it's not cheap. So I've downloaded the previous version, which is Flight Sim 10, Apparently, from what I've seen, because I've seen videos like this, you can, what you can do is you can link that to your air traffic control software. So that means if you're controlling, say, tower, I can have a view, like a 3D view from the tower position of which airport I'm controlling.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of just having a 2D display with just tags and numbers and that kind of stuff. So I have seen that done. So I'm currently looking into it at the moment and see how the best way I can present it. I think is the way is what I'm looking at. Because I have done it. I did do a video years and years ago, and it was Birmingham Airport, and I did stream it at the time. But the thing about it is it's quite a complicated subject, and it's one of those where I'll be talking to all these different people, people flying aircraft on flight sim, and treating them as if they're real traffic. And unless you understand what's going on, it can be a bit overwhelming. I think it's one of those.
See, and that's the part that, like I said, I mean, I would be, because I was going to be an air traffic controller. At one point in time, I had that, the job posting was there for our international airport here in Edmonton about, come be an air traffic controller, blah, blah, blah. And I thought about doing it, and it wasn't that I got refused. It was the way the guy refused me.
Yeah.
The way the guy said, no, this isn't for you. I'm like, okay. It's not my... And I have to agree with the gentleman. I mean, he was the recruiter for the air traffic controllers. And it's not like he insulted me and said, you're not smart enough. He actually said, no, you're smart enough. It's just, it's not, basically, nowadays we'd say it's not in your wheelhouse. It's not something that you should be doing. And I have to agree with him. Later on in life, now that I'm a little more mature and all the rest of that fun stuff. At the time, I'm like, as I walked out the door. But, well, like anyone would, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you refused me for a job, you da-da-da-da-da. Right? You don't know what you're talking about. I'll show you, whatever else, whatever.
Yeah. But, as you do.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, we had a good conversation. I thought it was really great the way the guy did his job. Later on in life, not then, but later on in life. So it's air traffic controlling has always, I don't want to say it's amazed me, right? But the level of concentration that it takes to be an air traffic controller, that's the part that I look at it and go, wow, okay, neat. Not something I could do. So when somebody can do it, you know what I mean, and keep it all in their head and do everything you need to do and all the rest of that, it's, I'd definitely be showing up for that stream the day you do it.
That's assuming I stream it. As I said, I might potentially do it as a series.
Well, that would be better because then I could just watch it at my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your own convenience. Which, considering if you get into another RPG or survival, might be a good thing.
Well, we're gonna back off, right?
Of
the hardcore, right? But the thing is that like anything else, you want to get it built, and you want it because then the real adventure begins. You want to get leveled up, and you want to get it built. It's not like Satisfactory here, or Factorio for that matter. When we're doing our Factorio, in that one, it's the journey from beginning to end. It's the journey from, like in this one, it's us getting to supercomputers, turbo fuel. In the end all, right?
Nuclear pasta and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Wolfgang.
Yes, hello, Wolfgang. No, there's nothing wrong with your chat. You are actually the first one to chat in my chat. It's just Cuba switched to BBC Two.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cuba's on the dark side.
Yes. Dun 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 dun.
Obi-Wan, we meet at last.
Do you realise it's really easy to do that effect? You just need a empty pint glass.
Yeah, I actually contemplated downloading like an AI voice changer.
Oh yeah.
Just for the fun of it. do like a whatever, do a Morgan Freeman voice, you know, all the rest of that.
Mm. Yeah, although that can get I had to look into it. That can get pretty pricey if you're not careful.
It can, yeah, depending on the one you use and whatnot, and how many voices you get, because each voice is, you know, you basically got to pay for it, and yeah, that was the determining factor of why I went, no.
Yeah,
I think
pretty much.
Yeah.
Whereas in my case, I think one of the things I'm getting used to my setup at the moment is that all my buttons have changed. Because of the keyboard I've got is a K95. And on the side of the K95, I've actually got buttons which are designed... I've got buttons S1 to S6, which are designed for like a sort of Stream Deck functionality, which means that my tablet buttons now have all changed as well. So I'm getting used to just pressing different buttons for for different things. Well, for the same things, but different places. Just to complicate matters.
Yep. Oh, if I ever lost my Stream Deck and I had to rebuild it, I guarantee I would.
It'd be the same.
Would change. Yeah.
Well, yes. Meanwhile, Wolfgang has said about Cuba, and he's done a Jar Jar Binks, and he's gone, "How wooed."
How wooed.
Oh dear.
I actually caught Wolfgang doing his baseball stream.
Oh yeah.
He sounded like a baseball announcer.
Oh, there you go then.
Really did. I thought it was entertaining.
Cool.
I was sitting in there just enjoying it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Mind you, to be a proper baseball announcer, they seem to prattle on about stats and all sorts of all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but he did.
Really?
I mean, not yeah.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was great.
That's incredible.
I thought it was great. Yeah. I'm not a baseball guy. I mean, I like baseball. I played it when I was a kid. You know, I think like anyone else. But when I was sitting there, I mean, it sounded to me at times, it just, you know, this player's up and he's got this many runs batted in and blah, 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 blah. And he went on and I thought it was great.
Excellent. Nice. Very nice. Just pouring myself a drink.
So, I mean, to me, if you are into baseball at all, go watch Wolfgang's stream.
Yeah. I think the other person that plays it is Colonel Failure. He's got a second channel, which is Electro Sports. And he plays it quite regularly.
I still want to get on with American Truck Simulator, Wolfgang. One of these days, buddy. Get on with ATS.
With me, it'd be Euro Truck.
And I seriously wish I owned more of Euro Truck. I really do.
Well, they've gone into the boat.
Well, I played Euro Truck for quite a while, and I own it. You know, before ATS came out, there was Euro Truck, and that's all there was. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I played it because, hey, I'm a truck driver. I'll play a truck driving simulation, right? Makes sense. And I loved it right from the beginning. I loved that game. It's they did a very good job. The physics and all the rest. It'd be like your Derail Valley, you know what I mean? As compared to others that are out there in the world. You know, other train sims and whatnot that just don't... Yeah, they're train sims and, you know, like Railroads Online has options, right? Which are cool. Yeah. But it's not really... how to put it? It's the realism isn't there. It's not quite as good as Derail Valley. I mean, it just really isn't, right? Well, anyway, so the American Truck Simulator, it's there. I mean, the physics are there. And, I mean, I drove truck for many, many, many years. So I don't want to say when I say this, no, but, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. The physics are there.
Yeah.
So as far as realism goes, it hits the nail on the head for me.
Cool. That's good. Because it was something that again, because I referred, I'm a member of Colonel Fairley's channel, and he does like a members only, almost like basically a video, like a video vlog, as it were. And he just talks about, how the channel's going and plans for the channel and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, he used to work in the games industry. And one of the games publishers he worked for was Dovetail, who are responsible for all the train sim games. And one of the things he said was, he says, you can make a game, because the thing is that with Train Sim and Train Sim World, they get real life train drivers to come in and drive them and all that kind of stuff, and they'll get it as true to life as possible. But the weird thing is, he says the game doesn't feel right to people who don't drive trains, and yet he says Derail Valley does, which is
hey Wolfgang,
it's not.
I get you.
Is everyone migrating over to your chat now? Is that what's happening?
No, he's got both.
Okay, fair enough. No, he's got both American Truck and a Euro Truck.
No, I know, but I mean, I think he's in both.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. That one. Okay.
I think a few of my
he's
members were thinking I was going to play more Conan. I think some of my Conan fans were in, and they've left.
Right, okay. Well, to be fair, considering it's been pretty consistent over the past few days.
It has. It's going to continue for anyone still sticking around. It's going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
But it can't go at the pace that it was.
Yeah.
It can't continue.
Well, no, for goodness sakes, you'll cream cracker yourself.
No.
And not only that, you're just gonna. Not only that, you're just gonna end up with live stream.
Yeah. That's the part I want to back off of, because I still have 5 other games that I'm producing all of the videos for, and I have an audience for that. And then and then I have an audience for this, right? And then yada yada yada. There's other stuff, so I have to cater to all of my audience.
Exactly.
And to me, there will come a day where I'm not going to want to play Conan no more.
Yeah, I think I mean, for me, I like factory building games to a certain degree. Although I think my preference out of the games I've played so far, because I've played Factorio, I've played Foundry, the demo. In fact, I managed to sort of pretty much finish the demo this week and get it to the point where I'd done pretty much all the research. I think there's only about 3 or 4 bits left, and I'm thinking, is there any point? At that point, I'm thinking, right, I've really sort of got to the point where it was about the same around the same time, around 7-8 hours or so, where I thought, I've done enough now. And obviously I play Satisfactory, and out of all the ones that I've played, Satisfactory is my favorite. And I think there's a couple of reasons for it. First of all, I think one of the things that Satisfactory gets right is the scale. In the sense that, you look at a coal power plant and it completely dwarfs you in comparison. Where it doesn't do that in Foundry. Yeah.
No, yeah, everything's all small.
Yeah.
And yet, I've heard people complain about the size of the machines in Satisfactory.
Whereas I really like it.
I'm with you. I like the size of a nuclear plant. Why? Because it's the size of a nuclear plant.
Exactly.
I mean, it really is. Yeah, it's really got that size to it. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. So I think the scale, personally, I think it's also partly because I think this is the first factory game I played. So I think you always seem to warm to probably the first one you've played in comparison to the others to a certain degree. Graphically, it looks superb. I have to say. The graphics for Foundry just reminded me of something like Fortnite. To give you some idea. Because it's a bit cartoony.
Yep. Yeah.
Factorio's graphics go back to an era of kind of like 16 sort of 32-bit games. Which is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think 90s when I play Factorio.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think 90s.
Yeah, it looks like something that would have come out on the Commodore Amiga.
Yep.
You know, that kind of era, sort of 16, 32-bit, which is fine, you know, and that's a perfectly acceptable art style. Just a minute, Wolfgang. Sorry, he's dropped a comment on mine, but that heart, it is really annoying me.
Yeah. We should be able to move that.
I wish. It should be in the top right-hand corner of the screen. But because he's started Mad Games Tycoon 2, but he's only had 10 views for video at the moment, and he's thinking whether he's going to continue. To be fair, Wolfgang, I mean, it's like everything else. You sometimes you try things and they work, and sometimes you try things and they don't. And it's a case of it's also finding things that you present in a way that you people can tell that you're enjoying the game, and you're presenting it in a way where it's coming across as being passionate about it. Yeah, agreed. Heart is horribly placed. Because for example, if I was to play Conan Exiles, oh, trust me, it wouldn't come across the same way as the way how D plays it. No way, because it's not really my thing, and it would come across that way. You could hear it. Where
Same as if I played Wolfgang's 3D baseball,
mm-hmm.
and I tried to commentate to it, it would not come out the same.
Yep.
It just wouldn't.
I mean, I
wish Derail Valley was multiplayer though.
Oh, that's going to be way off into the future. Yeah, so do I. So do I. Because of I gave you a sort of a small précis of what happened on the stream on Wednesday, and there are times when I'm thinking, I wish I had a fireman.
Yep.
When you're driving Steam.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
A conductor and a fireman. I mean, it would be a dual job, right? I'd have to be out there hooking up trains and whatnot, and hooking up cars, while you're in the engine house. But I'm walking along with the train, right, doing the conductor, and well, I'm going to call it the conductor. It's not the car engineer is not called a conductor in real life, but neither here nor there. That's the job.
Yeah,
right?
So, UK was driver and fireman.
Yeah.
Because there are times when I'm driving. It's mainly the 282, because of I finally this afternoon I actually fixed one of my mistakes. So I actually redid the job, except I actually handed the job in this time. Although to be fair, I got it done on my third attempt. The first two attempts, train went boom. And I'm figuring out why now, and it's to do with it's partly to do with gradient. Because the water level of the water level in the boiler is the water level obviously varies depending on what gradient you're on. Because of it, wherever you see it, because of obviously if you're going uphill, then there's going to be more water at the back of the boiler than there is at the front. And then it's going to...
the fact that the Derail Valley takes care of that and puts that in the physics.
I know.
Is what sets that game apart.
Oh, yeah, it does. I think it's a little too sensitive.
Maybe. I've never driven a steam train. So I don't know. You'd have to talk to a steam train operator.
I don't know. I mean, I know that Heiser said it's probably the most accurate. The most accurate simulation of driving steam trains that's out there at the moment. But I think he did comment that it might be a bit too sensitive on that. But the fact that the water in the sight glass, the water in the sight glass is such that it will vary depending on whether the train's on a level or whether it's on a grade or not. Which is correct. That's absolutely spot on. That's what it should do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would right. Okay. I think I'm power poled up now. Pretty much.
You're all powered up.
Not quite. Well, I've got the power poles in. And I've got the power lines in. But the thing is, even with that, and even when I put the belt and put the belt work in, I've still got to get the coal.
Yep.
Yes, hello, Cuba. Welcome to BBC One. Meanwhile, I've been catching up on some of the movie releases that are coming out because we've gone past blockbuster season now, which means we actually start getting what I would call proper films. Because I've gotten to the point with because I mean blockbusters. It tend obviously they're very sort of there's a lot of spectacle to them and everything else, but you start getting films that are a little bit more interesting. So, for example, there's actually a film coming out of Napoleon.
Okay.
In November, but when I watched it, I couldn't believe who was playing him. Joaquin Phoenix.
Wow.
I know. I'm thinking, as in Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. As in.
Although I don't.
But he is decent.
Yeah. Oh, he's decent, all right. Hang on, how many bees here? Oh my god.
I mean, what?
It's all right. I'm just dealing with a bunch of bees. And nearly dying in the process. I'm one of those annoying spheres that goes, "You must harvest me." Thanks, game.
Oh, gotcha.
There's about three of them. Three of them just near the entrance to the power plant. In fact, I've looked where the power plant is, and I've noticed just by where my power plant is, I've got the I think I've got a couple of patches of pure oil. So that'll come in handy.
Yeah, just north of your main base there.
Yeah, so that'll come in handy.
I can't remember how many you got there. Quite a few.
I think it's 2 or 3. I can't remember. But if that's the case, I know exactly where I am. In relation to the grass fields and so on, because I've been up this way before. Cuba's just opened developer mode up in Subnautica. No more achievements, so now he's going to restart the game. Cuba, how many times have you played Subnautica, dude? Seriously.
Just one more time.
Although I can see me potentially streaming that at some point.
I thought it was a good game.
Hmm.
When I looked at it, I thought it was cool. I thought it had potential. I hadn't picked it up at that point in time.
Okay.
But I thought it had potential.
Wolfcant's probably right. He's probably done it over 1 million times. I don't know about 1 million. Isn't the definition of stupidity doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again?
No, it's insanity.
Oh, right.
And no, but the insanity part is expecting different results.
Hmm. Okay.
So I mean, I've played Factorio 30 times now, full maps.
Mm-hmm.
That does not count how many times I've restarted the game. Because like Satisfactory here, I say 6 full builds is all I've done in this game.
Yeah.
Right? But that is 6 full builds. Right? That's beginning to end, taking it to its eventual conclusion, that kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like that's... So... That doesn't include how many false starts. Let's call them false starts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you start a map and I don't really like this. I didn't go where I wanted to or whatever. I'm just going to restart. You know, because I'm not that far in. Or the game did an update. Right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, now I really need that. Or they really messed me up. Or, you know, they really changed. Whatever. Right? There's umpteen different reasons for it. But Factorio, I'd have to say just about every single restart I've done has turned out to be a different factory.
Interesting.
Well, there's so many mods in that game as well.
I would imagine so.
It, I think my 6th or 7th one in, I started modding it. Yeah. Because there was just, the community on that is just kind of something I miss in Satisfactory, believe it or not. Is the range of mods. I'm not to say that there isn't mods in Satisfactory. There is. But it's the range. There isn't. I mean, give it some time. You know, this game isn't that old. You know, as far as it goes. As far as games go, this isn't that old of a game.
Also, you have to consider that, I mean, this game is still in development, and it has been for the past few years now.
Yep.
Because I first got it when it was not long out of early access. Sorry, I'm just having a look at the chat between Kuba and Wolfgang. Now, kids, play nicely.
Oh, cheating. Oh, no. Yeah. Admin mode. There's definitely a discussion about admin mode.
Yeah, as I said. Now, kids, play nicely. Right. Looks like I'm going to go back to the... I've got to go back to the starter factory. Because I've run out of concrete.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I need to go shopping. Although at some point, I've got to get spreadsheeting. Because the plan with this playthrough is basically to... Well, what I would consider to be complete the game. In other words, get to the point where you've made all of the parts for the space elevator at the end of the game. So things like nuclear pasta and all that kind of stuff. I think it's nuclear pasta, adaptive control units, and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah. For right now, if you get to that end, you're done.
Yeah.
This game is done.
But that's where I'm heading. But it means I've got to get spreadsheeting. Because if that's the goal, then what I've got to do is I've got to go, right, okay, so these are the products I need to make. So in order to do that, I've got to see how that affects the supply chain. Oh, what fun.
Well, that is definitely the... I mean, to me, there is no end game in this. I cannot agree to an end game in this yet.
For me,
you get to the end of the factory, you get to the end of their whatever, but that's not end game. That's not...
For me, end game would be basically building things like nuclear pasta and everything else to get to the point where you can send it in the space elevator. And that's it, job done.
Yeah.
You know, that for me...
Oh, I agree right now. Yeah, no, but I don't know. I still don't want to call it an end game. But according to Snoot, the end game is coming. It's just
not, yeah.
It's not here.
I'm just wondering how they're going to do it.
I don't
or
know.
whether it's going to follow.
Supposedly the Mercer Sphere, the Summer Sloop, all that stuff is included in it. So it's be interesting to see what they do with the storyline.
Agreed. I don't know what it is about this update, but every now and again the game stutters.
Yep. I just saw it. I felt it. I figure it's when you're saving.
Maybe. Because I've definitely got it limited. Frame limited.
Oh, okay. Bummer. All those pumps came out through the wall. The MK2s won't. Oh well. Makes it look somewhat industrial.
Are you redesigning on the fly or something?
Nope. No. Just all the pump, the cylinder heads of the pumps stuck through the wall.
Right, okay.
And so, I mean, they're fairly even looking. It almost looks industrial. Almost looks intended.
Almost sounds like what happens to a steam train in Derail Valley if you run it out of water. With all the boiler tubes and everything else that's poking out the front.
Yeah. I gotta come back and make a blueprint now for the water
Right.
storages.
Okay.
And I am not using that tube.
Don't blame me.
We had issues with that last time.
Indeed we did. I don't know whether, but you see, it's one of those things because of it being the experimental branch, and because it sort of infers you can play multiplayer, but it's sort of at your own risk.
Yep.
You know, which means,
Well, it's just like me running that server. You can do it. You're not supposed to. So we'll see how. We'll see how that goes.
Meanwhile, I've seen an early review of Cities Skylines. Yeah. So, in terms of the gameplay and the features, that's really good. But the problem is, it's poorly optimized. So, I'm going to hang fire for a while. And wait for them to actually get it optimized properly so it will actually work.
I gotcha.
Although I saw Spiffing Brits play it. Because Spiffing Brit is always about sort of basically exploiting the game. Or playing the game in ways that it wasn't intended. And his way of making money in Cities Skylines was just genius. He split the city up into two parts, like the residential zone on the west side, and then the commercial and industrial zone on the east side. And he made it that there was a one-way road going from commercial industrial to residential, but in order for the residents to actually get to work, they'd have to get on an underground or tube or whatever. But the thing is, they'd have to keep transferring stations, and in game time it would take 15 hours. As in not 15 hours real time, but 15 hours in game time. And he set the fare at something like 50, 50 sort of like $50 or pounds or whatever the currency is. And he was making, and he had no tax on it. And people, the residents were coming in, and he ended up making millions. It's great. You gotta love Brit. It's great.
That's like Let's Game It Out with Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Always gotta stress it. Always gotta, you have to.
Yeah, Spiffing Brit is always about, trying to make the most amount of money and trying to cheese the game and make the most amount of money.
I've watched him many times.
Yeah. So he can be quite amusing. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. Right. I'm going to bring some... Oh, got that much stuff in my... Got that much stuff in my backpack. It's ridiculous. Don't do that either.
Oh, dude, that Mercer sphere's back. Wow.
Things
reset.
Yeah, things seem to be respawning. Even Mercer spheres and stuff like that. It's really weird. And it's ever since this update. It's odd.
Weird. Yeah. I haven't actually gone back into my factory since the update.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
probably should, but I've been too busy.
Yeah, I wonder what you've been busy doing.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's weird.
I've been neglecting my channel. That's it.
I mean, you've been busy doing something, but I can't put my finger on it.
I don't know.
Do you think when all that streaming, when you go back to like a proper regular, I think the thing with you, I have to say, have you just got the streaming bug or something? Because it seems like I know you stream playing this game a lot, but you seem to be streaming a huge amount recently, not just Conan Exiles.
Well, I have been very defensive about taking on any new games. And of course, I got lots of friends, hey, we should do this, hey, you should. And then once I got the server, right, because when I upgraded my computer to a new one, and then I upgraded mine, gave it to my wife, and then her computer's just sitting there. And it's still a good computer. Nothing wrong with it, like CPU-wise. It just doesn't, I don't have a graphics card, you know, and nothing on it to really, but it's still 64 gig. It's still a Ryzen 5, and it's still a good processor. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So I turned it into a game server. And once a couple of my friends found out about that, I've been getting bugged nonstop for a 7 Days to Die server. You know, and I did Factorio and Satisfactory as far as servers go, right? And yeah, I mean, I get it that you're bugging me, because the problem is when you're running a channel, you have to think of the long term of the game. It's
Yes, you do.
just, oh, let's game for a weekend, and then I go back to my regular 9 to 5, and I'm not going to ignore you, but you know, I mean, basically, they're not there. You know, they're doing their 9 to 5, or they get bored of your game long before the playthrough is finished, right? And then they disappear. Which I'd find for a player, no problem. But if I start a series, I have to continue that series. To me, I have to for the channel, right? I mean, once we start something on a channel, you have to continue it. You can't stop it mid, not without a good reason. I mean, I have stopped games mid, you know, and said, okay, sorry, nobody's watching them. We did one on Life Not Supported. Nobody watched it, dude. Like, nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody commented. Nobody watched. It was nothing. It was a dead game. So no problem. We'll wait for some more updates to come out, and we'll wait for the developer to do his thing on it, right? And then we'll see where we're at in X amount. You know, so that's anyway. So when friends ask you to do things, it's not. You have to think long term and all the rest of that. But anyways, I'm rambling. I'm tired and I'm rambling.
That's fine.
So I don't want to start a server on a game that I'm not going to continue on. Now, I already know I'm going to continue on Satisfactory. That's a no-brainer. Right?
Yep.
That's going to happen. But as far as producing videos on something like Conan, let's just use that one as an example. Producing a video on that, oh, dude, the amount of footage I have just in 3 days.
Oh, I can imagine.
I would be producing and engineering and developing the it would be unceasing. It would be never ending. Well, I think I mentioned to you, it's like a 4-to-1 on editing. It can be. It takes you, let's say, 4 hours to record the video, right? No different than a stream. 4 hours to record it, 4 hours to do the stream. Okay, stream. I push a button. I'm done. Effectively, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm finished. I can walk away. I can go enjoy life. Video editing, 4-hour stream. I now have 12 to 16 hours of developing that video into something. And it'll probably won't be 16 hours worth of video, of course. Excuse me. I'm going to get rid of some of the boring parts, or what I feel is boring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, this, that, and the other thing, right? I'm gonna engineer and I'm gonna produce the video. But it still took 4 hours to record it and 16 hours to edit it. That's 20 hours per stream. Essentially, effectively, equally, whatever. It's 20 hours per stream.
Yeah.
So, like us doing Satisfactory here, when you mentioned you were going to do it, and could I come join you and all the rest of that, I'm like, okay, I'm streaming that.
Yeah.
I'm not producing any videos on this. Why? Because at the end of our 4.5-hour session, I push a button and I send it to the editor. Like, I send it to YouTube, and that's it. I walk away. Now I'm free to go do something else. I've already got 5 games I'm producing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my wife could have done some recording this weekend on one of those games, right? We could have done... I have a playthrough of Tectonica that we're doing. And yeah, I could have done production on Tectonica. Absolutely. I didn't because... Oh, really? The bugs came back on that summer sloop that I did all the foundations for.
Oh, good grief.
They shouldn't have come back.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on tonight. I'm finding that. There's Mercerspheres coming back. There's various slugs that are coming back that I've picked up. It's not just you, dude.
Okay, no problem.
It's not just you and me hosting it. No. They've done something with this update, and it's clearly had an effect. And maybe an unintended one. Hey ho.
Very strange, very strange. That's okay. It's all good.
It's all right. We can call Ghostbusters if you like.
No doubt.
See if they can help. Oh dear. So, I know Wolfgang's been doing a lot of flight sim at the moment recently, and he recently flew through the UK, which is nice to see. So I need to catch up with those and see which areas he went to.
Yeah, he was mentioning he was up in northern England and over into Ireland, Scotland, Iceland. Iceland was yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. Apparently he's setting a flight between the Faroe Islands and Iceland so he can record it.
Yeah.
Although the joke on the UK side would be to do with the fact that Iceland is actually a frozen food store here, and their sort of slogan or tagline is "That's why mums go to Iceland." So I could potentially use something like that. Oh right, so he's in the north of Scotland. Okay. Question is where. Okay, Mark 3. Well, this is coming along nicely. So he's going to be going down to that. He's going to go over the rest of Scotland and over to Iceland on the next stream. That's cool. I'm imagining you're going to end up flying over Shetland and that area then. Although, if you fly over Stornoway, I hope the RAF aren't out. Stornoway's an island where they actually do live ordnance testing for the RAF.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Imagine driving. I don't know, imagine somebody driving over, basically getting a ferry, going to the Stornoway in the car, and they're going, "Oh, it's a nice day for a drive, dear." And all of a sudden,
I've done oil field work
yeah.
in some of the Canadian Air Force
Oh, okay.
areas.
Yeah.
Cold Lake being one of them. We got a fairly large Air Force base up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done some of Imperial Oil is up in that area. So you have to check in. It's all military. It's interesting.
Oh, I bet
A lot
it is.
more hoops you got to jump through on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. I mean, whatever. That's military has to do what the military does. But yeah, it's.
Oh, but
You
yes.
do wonder.
Oh, but did you have your 4-digit pickup pin?
Yeah. Yeah, there ain't no pin on that one. There is an orientation and an ID that gets issued, and that ID is only temporary.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, no doubt. Got to have my 4-digit Canadian pin to get my stuff. Yeah. That was a hilarious one.
I know. Oh dear. Okay, Wolfgang, that sounds like a good idea. So basically do like an edited highlights from your stream. Yeah, I've done videos like that. They seem to do okay. Is the best way I can put it. But I think the thing is because it's an it's an edited highlight reel of a stream, the presentation's different to if you actually do an edited if you go out with the mindset of an edited video. At least that's what I find. Because I know. Obviously, D and I have been talking, and one of the things I've got to do is knuckle down at some point and do an actual series on the channel. And I'm looking at Ixion as a series at the moment, which is it is kind of like an RTS in the vein of Frostpunk and that kind of stuff. But partly it's down to sitting down and doing it, but also I've got to think about how I'm going to present it, how I'm going to put it together. Because I think it can, if you're playing through a game and think sometimes you're tempted to leave things in that you shouldn't really leave things in. Because I mean, I know with the first sort of 40 minutes to an hour of that game, there's quite a lot of cutscene and there's quite a lot of tutorial. And I'm thinking, how much of cutscene, how much of tutorial should I actually leave in this edit? Or should I just try and streamline it a little bit?
I do beginning of any series, I do everything gets recorded. Mm-hmm. Everything gets produced. And then as I make it further in to that series, I start to cut out the farming.
Makes sense.
To me, everybody can see farming, but now hang on. I thought the building and organization of any game, organization, not the building, because the building, I mean, if you've got people that are interested in how you're building, then fine. But the organization, the running around and organizing all of the stuff into the different boxes. I personally thought that, and throughout all of my series, I thought that would be like, no, I'm cutting all that out. I got a wake-up call on Conan the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I had 9 people out of a stream where I did not have 9 people on the stream, right, during it. Mm-hmm. But when I got down to organizing 20 hours worth of adventuring, 4 people walking around the Conan server, adventuring and killing stuff, and then bringing it back and just dropping it into drop chests. And I thought, I'm like, okay, everybody, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of the stream. If you want to hang out with me and all the rest of that, blah, 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 blah. And I kind of did a little, well, guess what? Not only did they stick around, but I gained viewers. I'm like, trying to figure out, why are you just watching me organize like drop chests? I couldn't figure it out, Tboone. I'm a little, okay. Alrighty, but I didn't think that would be very exciting.
I think
so I'm just trying to
Yeah, but this is the difference between live streaming and doing edited videos. Is that live streaming, obviously, it's as it happens. So, yeah, you are going to have times when you're doing busy work. It's just one of those things, and people will still come along with you because it's not just about what you're doing, but it's the fact. But it's all about. Obviously, they're watching you for you and the way how you present something. So there is that side to it.
I get you. I wasn't talking a lot, though. My brain was on organization of the base. So I'm thinking it was just because I was organizing the base. I was putting things away. I was figuring out what chests they have to go into. I was doing what I thought would be boring stuff. I'm putting a disclaimer on what I just finished saying, where, like producing videos, you can think you want to cut out something out of that video because you think it will be boring.
Yeah.
And it might not be. It might not be what you think. That's all I was getting at. Is that you might think you're this. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm rambling. I'm tired. I thought I had it all set and down pat, and I knew what people wanted and all the rest of it. Could be wrong. It could just be my attitude, my thinking, that I don't want to sit and watch somebody farm, like whacking iron veins, right? Like if we had to do that here in Satisfactory, like take an actual pick at the beginning of the game like we do in Factorio and sit and whack an iron mine, right? Well, that'd be kind of boring to watch, wouldn't it? It's my thinking anyway. Obviously, I could be wrong on that. That's what I was kind of getting at.
Meanwhile, in answer to Kuba in chat on your chat, he says nuclear power plants don't need smokestacks or whatever they're called. Actually, they're not smokestacks; they're cooling towers.
No, yeah.
It's so it's the steam that's been used under high pressure in the turbines. So that's what you actually see.
Was a while back.
I know.
Oh.
I know, but you hadn't responded to it, so I did.
No, I know. You were talking at the time, and then the time passed.
Yeah. As it does. There you go. What can I say? There's certain things that it's quite weird what some of the things you pick up as you go on in life. Although I would be useless at a pub quiz because they always ask questions that I don't know the answer to. Funny that.
It depends. I've been to some of those, and yeah, it depends on what I'm being asked. Depends on the subject line.
Yeah, I mean, ask me about pop music from the year 2000 upwards, I wouldn't have a clue. For example, ask me about pop music from about sort of pre-2000 up to about 1950s and 60s. I'm in with a chance. And ask me about music, other fields of music like jazz and classical, then yes. Because people go, oh, you got a music degree. Oh, you'd be fantastic at a pub quiz. I'm not sure about that.
Recorded music? Not so much. Not for me. Are you asking me theory questions? Like on music theory?
Yeah.
That's possible then.
Mm-hmm.
My theory's fairly solid, anyways. You know,
Yeah, things like tritones and
yeah.
what is it? Oh, what's the name of it? Neapolitan 6.
Neapolitan 6?
Yeah. What, you never come across those? Ah, okay.
I almost want to look that up now,
It's
just in case we call it something different.
quite common in the classical era. And it's, you know, in jazz you would call it a chord substitution.
Okay.
It's like a chord substitution instead of going to the dominant, instead of going from dominant to
First
tonic.
conversion. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take it you're looking it up now.
Oh, I had to. Absolutely. Well, because I was trying to figure out, did we use that terminology? Right? Because
yeah.
we've already figured out that English terminology and North American terminology can sometimes be not the same, you know, which is fine.
Oh, particularly when it comes to Cockney rhyming slang, because I caught you out again this morning.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Mutton Jeff, deaf.
Yeah. And I don't understand that because I didn't grow up with it, right? Because we're a lot different in Canada as far as that goes. We don't use that sort of slang. It's more direct. I mean, if I were to use Canadian slang, you would know. Because I'm giving you a hard time, which is, I think that's unique to who I hung out with. I mean, as far as giving each other a hard time, everybody that I know, if you don't give your buddy, you know what I mean, your working person you're working with a hard time, like call them out on everything and give them a really hard time, then you don't like them. And
To be fair,
and that's kind of the way it's taken.
yeah, no. I think it can be similar over here. To be fair, so no, you're not alone on that score.
But I think the how it's done, might be different. I don't know.
I'm not sure, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's definitely healthy banter that goes on in office work. I know that. Although it depends upon the kind of work that you do. And there's a big difference between sort of shop floor and working in an office.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Excuse me. I've always been shop floor. I don't remember too many times working in offices over the years.
Whereas I've spent most of my time in offices. So it's quite nice to get away from it.
Office work? Yeah, no, I got you. I honestly would take the shop floor just about any day compared to some of the things that go on in offices.
Yeah, I suppose.
The office politics, shop politics are so easy. It's not funny. Office politics no, sorry. And I don't mean that as a male-female thing. It's just office politics are different.
Oh yeah, of course they are.
10. Okay. I still got to run power for these, don't I? Yes, I do. Wow.
Well, at least they fixed the music.
What?
Oh, there was one point where the music was basically just stuck on the same track.
Oh, okay.
Alright, spelt work. No, it's not an autosave that's doing it. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it just pauses on an autosave.
Yeah, that's normal for mine as well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially once I got like much bigger. Like once the size started to just get unreal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, this is going up to, because with my plant, it's what, 48 coal power plants from 24. So certainly, you know, it's another big project. There we go. Done. It was nice to catch Wee on the stream last night.
Yep. She's having fun. She's a little behind us on the character building, but that's fine.
Sounded like she was
didn't
getting
have as much time to play.
Yeah, it sounded like she was getting a little bit frustrated last night though.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
She was dying when we went into an area last night.
Mm-hmm.
And she's never happy about that. Surprise, surprise.
Mm. It's weird because for me, if I die in a game, I tend to, I don't know why, I just see the comedy in it.
I'm with you, and she's pretty good about it the first time.
Hmm.
The third or fourth, she start getting frustrated.
Yeah. But then I think that's probably that's probably part of that. I think that's part of the British sense of humour.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
There we go. Nice. Getting there.
My stream's about to get really loud.
Oh, lovely.
I'm firing up all my whatchamacallits here.
Oh, the turbines.
All the turbines are going up.
Mm-hmm.
It gets loud down here when that happens.
Oh, I bet it does. Fortunately, I have a fader for that. Although the one thing I can see with this stream is I might potentially have a bit of an earlier night. After all, you could do either one.
No, I'd probably go off. I got a whole bunch of building I got to do.
Oh, well.
In Conan.
Oh my god.
Like a lot of building I got to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I keeping you away from Conan?
No, that's okay. That's okay. I got a lot of building I got to do in this one too. I got to get this power plant up. Plain and simple.
Yeah, same here.
This needs to happen.
Same here. Because then I can sit on an Excel spreadsheet and go, right, okay, what's the plan now?
Yeah, where am I going from here?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Because it will be. I'll look at all the space elevator parts, and then I'll figure it out from there. In terms of supply chain, and I'll go, right, okay, we need this. At which point, then you know how many manufacturers you need, how many particle accelerators you need, how many blenders you need.
Yep.
So on and so forth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is one thing I don't know whether you knew, but speaking of spreadsheets, do you know there's an international competition when it comes to spreadsheeting?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What are we spreadsheeting?
I think it was set up by a group of accountants. And they set various challenges and puzzles. And yeah, it's an international thing. So basically whoever does it the quickest wins. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah, no, alrighty. Okay.
Can't see it being an Olympic event somehow.
Yeah, no doubt.
Can you imagine the commentary? Oh, that's a really good move by Great Britain. He's going for the auto sum.
I was just is doing commentary on a spreadsheet competition. I don't know why I went there. Sorry, Wolfgang. Because he's got that accent, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought worked very well. I mean, I was, fine with it when up, but yeah, that's where my head went.
So you reckon Wolfgang would be the perfect pick for that kind of event?
Yeah, it's a good whatchamacallit, like a good accent, right?
Mm.
And then
So
that
okay,
would work for me.
All right. So if you see a spreadsheeting competition, Wolfgang, then and they want a commentator, you've got the gig. As far as D's concerned. I must admit, there's got to be certain things that are really difficult to commentate on.
Golf.
Yeah, although there are some people that are very good at it. There was a guy.
Okay, but I can't watch golf.
I know.
I just can't. And to me, it's the commentating.
Okay.
Now, if you were to put, say, Robin Williams as the commentator for, right? I mean, I know we can't, but you know what I mean? Like, if we were to go there, that I would watch. That would be hilarious. Like, that would truly be something to me that would be funny, right? That would be entertaining.
Yeah.
But now you're looking at Robin Williams and the way he does golf, because if you've never heard his Scottish golf clip, then you really need to go watch Robin Williams Scottish golf. Right?
I'll have to look
it was
it
the
up.
Scottish that invented golf.
Yes, it was.
Right. Okay, but now if you've never heard Robin Williams do his take on it, then you really need to go watch something. You need to go watch that, because it is hilarious. As in, like, your guts are hurting your sides are hurting at the end of it because you've been laughing so much.
Gotcha.
So, now that I could watch. I could watch a golf game with that. But that's never going to happen. But I mean, even someone close to that, a George Carlin or a something, commentating golf, that would be entertaining. But these guys, that's so boring. How do you watch that? Like, literally, how do you sit and watch? I always question why my dad, because he was a big golf fan, huge golf fan, and he played as well, which was fine, which made sense. But still, how can you watch that? Literally.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I can understand that. But you're right. I think the commentator makes a huge amount of difference.
Yep.
Wow.
Their jokes, their
yeah.
all the rest of it.
It can be, but also it can be to do with the attitude as well of the commentator. Yeah. It was one of the things that really got me into Formula One was the commentator. It was Murray Walker, because he got really excited about it, and there were times when I swear his commentary sounded like a Formula One race engine. And that was the thing about him. And it was like, and here goes Michael Schumacher as he comes around the third corner. He's on the gearbox of Alan Prost, and it was like that. And it's like, oh god, yeah. like that sort of stuff. It was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And he would speed up as he did and then he would slow down a bit, and then he would speed up, and he'd get all excited. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. Murray Walker was great. And some of the Murrayisms were brilliant. It'd be things like, and Prost is currently in 5th position, and he'd be winning this race if it wasn't for the 4 cars in front of him. Stupid things like that. No kidding, Murray.
Yeah.
I think it was a Canadian Grand Prix. I think it was Nigel Mansell, and I think it was almost like, I think it was near the last lap. And I think he ran out of fuel. Either ran out of fuel or his tire burst.
Yeah.
Right on the last lap. And the thing is, Murray Walker had a habit, even on the last lap, of basically saying that the race driver, whoever was in the lead, was going to win. So you can imagine how that commentary went.
Yeah.
Hey, Nigel Mansell's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix, and he's stopping. Nigel Mansell is stopping. Oh my God, this is a disaster.
Yeah. We watched a lot more, not Formula One, but it would be stock car, like NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my dad.
They're making another left turn.
Sorry. Yeah. I liked. I mean, I got no problem with the stock car racing and all the rest of that fun stuff. Good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But going around a circle like the Indianapolis 500, it's just a never-ending circle. That part never, I don't know, it never made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a sports watcher, I could fully, now that I've been a driver for, X amount of years, I could fully understand driving NASCAR. Watching it, not so much.
Yeah.
I hate to say it that way, but not so much.
Mm.
Watching a highlight reel, yeah, I'm there. Like I'm right with you. I'll check out the highlight reel, and I don't just mean the accidents. I mean like the fun parts, right? Like this guy passed that guy, or who won the race, or major events throughout the race and whatnot. Yeah, it's a lot of times it's crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be a crash reel is all I meant. But to sit and watch all of the boring parts of NASCAR is almost like sitting and watching all of the boring parts of a golf game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in between when Tiger Woods would be a Tiger Woods shot,
mm-hmm.
right? What are you watching? This unknown fellow, you know what I mean, lines up for his shot and the blah 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 and the yada yada. Okay, and shoots it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not a lot to that. Not a lot going on there. Not just.
Mm-hmm.
It does make me wonder. Kind of a why. Why am I watching this? I'm a little weird that way, I guess. I'm a little strange.
Coming along, Cooper, is the answer. I'm just getting a little bit confused at the moment of what I'm trying to do.
Uh-oh.
You know, sometimes when you get into a big build and you think, because in essence, I'm putting the belts around the back of the coal power plant, and I'm putting the water at the front.
Gotcha. To
separate them. And there are times when I just get a little bit confused, and I think I've just had a senior moment. Hey-o.
We have a lot of those.
Oh yeah, of course we do.
As we get seniorish.
Hmm. I'm not quite at free bus pass stage yet. I don't know whether that's something you have in Canada.
They've taken my car away and I'm on a bus pass.
No. When you reach I think it's state pension age in the UK, they will give you a free bus pass, and you can get on any bus in the UK for free after 9:30 in the morning.
Okay, I gotcha.
After 9:30 in the morning, and you can travel off peak on sort of local buses and everything like that. But that's nationwide, so there are pensioners that will literally They'll actually travel up and down the country on local buses.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, yeah. But it's part of the reason why pensioners of that age, one of the things they're known as is twirlies. And the reason they're called twirlies is if it's 9:27, for example, and the bus stops, they'll go, "Am I too early for this?" That's where that comes from.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I never heard of a twirly, so I'm.
Well, now you know.
Lost me on that.
Now you know. But yeah, that's where it comes from. It comes from that phrase. "Excuse me, driver. Am I too early for this?" Well, you have now.
Okay.
Mm.
That's cool and all. I just.
Yeah.
I don't think we reference them as twirlies.
Oh, well, there you go. Now you can catch somebody out with a British term and they'll go, what are you talking about? Oh, it's T-Bone's fault. Yeah, I know. Yes, I've been teaching him proper English.
Yes. A proper Englishman teaching me proper English. Good luck with that. I'm Canadian.
And speaking of commentators, trying to think, who's another one that's quite famous? Oh, there was another one called this is BBC, and it was called I think it's Ted Lowe, and he was also known as Whispering Ted Lowe, and he commentated on snooker.
Oh, that'd be another one, yeah. Because I mean, it's this very soft, and he's going for the shot today, Bill. And today he's going to do this, and he's been 5 shots down the last 5 minutes. And
yeah, but
it's just so boring and
but what gets
hard
me is
to watch.
Yeah, but what gets me is they always do it in that whisper, and you think you're in a soundproof booth.
Yeah, yeah. Who are you whispering to? Why are you whispering? Like the person taking the shot's going to hear you? Anyway, yeah.
Although the classic line, this goes back to the days when we had black and white television.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, black and white TVs as well as colour. And because he had quite a gravelly voice, Ted Lowe. But there was one point where he said, "Oh, who was it?" "And Dennis Taylor approaches the table. He's going for the blue. And for all those viewers in black and white, it's the one next to the pink."
Yeah. Like we can tell. Yeah, it's the pink one. Next to the pink.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not colorblind. We're actually on black and white TVs here.
It's one of my favourite lines. Oh dear, it's just little things like that. I've been going back to Murray. He also did touring cars as well, and there was one point I think it was Cleland had a better coming together with a rival of his, and he wasn't too happy about it, and it was what so. Yeah, I'll get to that, Mr. Deethus, and welcome to the show.
Oh, hey, Deethus.
So. Yeah, there was one point where I think it was I can't remember. I think it was Rob. I can't remember his first name. Kuba's just put, "If you're blind, it's the next to that building over there." I like it. But no, there was one point I think Cleland had a coming together with a rival of his, and when he got back on the track and he got right behind him, basically he stuck his middle finger up. And Murray Walker had to improvise the commentary. And he says, "Well, Cleland is signalling to Soper that he's going for first," which I thought was brilliantly done.
Yeah.
But in answer to Mr. Deethus' question, right, so what happened was, this is Blue Screens of Death last week. So what happened was, well, first of all, it was telling me there was a driver issue. And I've tried I tried updating the graphics driver and all that kind of stuff, and I just got to the point where I thought, you know what, I'm just going to wipe the C drive, put a fresh install of Windows, and be done with it. So I did a fresh install. I also did a BIOS update as well to make sure it wasn't anything to do with that. And so I was putting everything back together, and it seemed okay. But then when I started playing games, about 20 minutes into playing a game, it would do the same thing. And it was giving me errors to do with page file. But it was, which I thought, page file? But it was saying that it wasn't drive related. I'm thinking, memory? So I did a memory test, and it came up on the memory test that there was a problem with the memory. I'm thinking, oh, great. So lay the computer slightly on its side, and I've thought, right, well, maybe it's just a bad stick of RAM or anything like that. So I took one stick of RAM out, it wouldn't boot. Took 2 sticks of RAM out, wouldn't boot. Took 3 sticks of RAM out, still wouldn't boot. So it wouldn't even boot on 8 gigs. I'm thinking, what's going on? So now, bearing in mind, this computer's been configured like that for 18 months and has worked. I took the RAM out and I turned it round the other way, which you shouldn't be able to do. Slotted it into place, done the RAM check, and it passed. But ever since then, it's been fine. My computer's obviously Irish.
Or Scottish. Just backwards.
I don't know. Well, at least it's running now. Wolfgang is currently flying at 15,000 feet. Nice.
Oh, Wolfgang's doing a... Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you streaming, Wolfgang?
I think you might be recording, to be fair. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, you had to do that with yours as well, Mr. Deethus. Okay. Although Wolfgang said apparently he's had an issue with... He's done it before. But the thing is, if you put the RAM in the wrong way on a PC, normally, it just won't boot. It won't even post. So to have that happen was kind of weird.
And the fact that it worked for 18 months.
I know. Go figure. Although, to be fair, it was downclocked, because I wasn't sure whether I'd bought a 3200 or a 3600 kit, and then I looked it up last week, because I went to the retail store that I got the RAM from, and I went, oh, it's 3600. So then I bumped it up to 3600, and it went, no, not working. And that's when I started having problems. Hey ho.
That's the one. Okay, you were mentioning that before, Wolfgang. Is that you figured it'd be too boring just flying over empty water for hours on end?
Yeah. I mean, there's on VATSIM they do something called cross the pond, and it's a lot of commercial, a lot of people flying commercial aircraft, and they cross the Atlantic, but it's fully staffed by VATSIM ATC. Literally from coast to coast. It's an amazing event to take part of. But I must admit, sometimes the middle bit is like, because I've done it. Even Oceanic, because there isn't much to do with Oceanic. You just have to call in about every 45 to 50 minutes. Roughly. And give you position reports. And that's about it. I think what I'll do... I know what I'm going to do. So yeah, guys, there's going to be plenty of belt work from my side and pipes and that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, right. So you okay? So you saw there was RAM issues from the LED lights on the motherboard. Fair enough. I think mine's got that as well, but it's also got the little LED display as well with various numbers, and you can look up the fault code and so on. Because I've built computers for what, 20 years, on and off. The only problem with that is that when people find out that you're a dab hand at computers, oh, that's it. You know, basically you're the PC guy.
Can you come fix my computer?
That's the one.
Yes. Well, what did you do with it? Well, I was surfing porn sites, and I don't understand why it doesn't work. Ah, quit surfing porn sites. I can't do that. Okay, then I guess I can't fix your computer.
Oh, did you hear about the guy that got fired from the Dell call center? There's a classic case of somebody getting fired from a Dell IT support desk.
Okay.
Ah, this was brilliant, right? So somebody rings Dell technical support, right? And let's just say the guy's you know, welcome to Dell. This is Dan speaking. Can I take your user ID, please? So takes the user ID. Okay, how can I help? So the chap at the other end says, hello, yes, I've got a problem with my PC. Okay, what's the problem? He says, well, I was working on my PC and you know, all of a sudden the screen went blank. Okay, can you tell me your machine ID? Can you tell me where that is? Right, it's probably on the front of the case. Well, slight problem, I can't see it. Why can't you see it? Well, when the screen went black, the room was dark. The room was dark. Okay. Can you try turning the light on? Okay. So, anyway, you hear a bit of shuffling around. Goes for the light switch. And he goes, that's strange. The light's not working. Okay. Can you check whether your machine's actually plugged in? So anyway, a bit more shuffling. Yeah, it's definitely plugged in. Okay. And he says, yeah, it does seem a bit dark in here. He says, at which point the help desk advisor says, can you look outside your window? And he's up on sort of a big tall block, like an apartment block or something, or an office block. He says, oh, that's weird. There's no lights. No lights are switched on around me. At which point he says, okay, sir, I think I know what you need to do. He says, what you need to do is you need to pack up your PC and you need to take it back to Best Buy and just hand it in there. Just hand it in there and leave it with them. At which point the guy said, oh, what shall I tell him? He says, quite simple, sir. You're too dumb to have a PC. Because it was a blackout.
Yeah, no doubt. You don't have any power. I mean, I figured it out partway through the conversation. I'm like, okay, I wanted to hear the joke, though, right? Yeah.
Apparently got fired for that. To be honest with you... Yeah. It was to be honest with you, though, it's probably that guy's last day or something, because I'd be really tempted. Genius. Absolute genius. Yeah, indeed. Wolfgang says, just how stupid can you be? Oh, trust me, there's stupid people out there. There's definitely stupid people out there. Bit like the people that blindly follow sat navs. Doesn't matter what where they tell them to turn. I remember because I used to work for a breakdown company many years ago. Well, I used for many years, and I remember my colleague saying, "I've just had a chap tell me that he was he was following his sat nav, and basically he's turned his vehicle, he's turned his car exactly where it told him, and he's ended up on a bridle path." Can we help him? I said, well, we can try and pull him out. Yeah. If we need special equipment, you might have a problem.
Oh, there's many oil field stories of people being absolute, I'm going to say it, morons.
Muppets would be fine as well.
Muppets, yeah, but I mean, it's just like you drove down there and you didn't put chains on your truck. How did you ever think you were going to make it down that path, without chains? Like, do you notice where you're going kind of deal? Did you notice you were going through 3 feet of mud? Did you notice you were going into a farmer's field that's been plowed and whatnot for, ages and centuries and whatnot, and it's spring, and the frost is coming out of the ground and whatnot? Like, you didn't know this. Oh, well, blah, 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 and they equate it to some gravel road they were on. It's not the same.
No. Not really.
Yeah, not even close.
No, definitely not. Wolfgang just said when he was driving a bus, he had people standing at the bus stop with one line. I come with the bus that had the destination on the front of it, and people would still ask whether he was going that way.
Yep.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yep. It sounds about right. Absolutely. Do you go in this totally different direction that you just finished coming from? No, I just finished coming from there, ma'am. Well, do you go back there? Well, I mean, eventually, but you could just go across the road, and that would be the trolley, bus, whatever that goes the other direction. Yeah, no doubt. Sorry, you're on the wrong side of the road, ma'am. I mean, I understand, elderly people being a little, no problem, I get it. But when 20s and 30s and even 40-year-olds are standing there asking that sort of question, you gotta kind of like, what the?
Oh, yeah, just a bit.
What the?
Exactly.
What the?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yes, it's a lot of what there's.
What the?
Right, Cuba. No, I haven't heard of the dumbest alphabet book, but I have a feeling you're going to tell us about it.
Sure.
I know that's coming. Please hold. Please hold. Cuba's story is important to us.
Cuba story incoming.
No, you can't tell that I used to work at a call center, can you? I'm not sure I'm following you there, Cuba.
Each letter meant word is silent. Pterodactyl. Is
Yeah.
the actual, that's how you pronounce that, is pterodactyl.
Yeah, it is pterodactyl and it has a silent P. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay, and?
Meant
Your
word is
point?
silent.
Okay, what's your point?
Dumbest alphabet book.
Yeah, still trying to figure it out.
Well, there's alphabet books out there. You know, T is for whatever, tail, and F is for foundation, and S is for satisfactory, right?
Oh, yeah.
Except that book would be
P is for pterodactyl. I get it. Okay, now I get it.
It's for the silent letter in each one. Am I getting that, Kuba?
Yeah, now I get it.
I'm gonna go for a coffee. I need a coffee. My brain is starting to. A is for isle. Yeah. There's all sorts of examples in the world of letters that do that. That they're like names and words and whatnot that do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we're gonna let D get his caffeine.
No, I need caffeine.
I think his brain's getting a bit addled. Bless him. Meanwhile, while I carry on here, it is. But there again, I mean, it's just the way how the spelling is. Although A is for isle, wouldn't you put? Yeah, but wouldn't you put it as I is for isle, but it's still spelt with an A? I don't know. Anyway. V is an exception since it has no word where it's silent. Although, having said that, if you get Stephen can be spelt with a PH. So, go figure that one. And it's one of the reasons why they say that English, as a secondary or other language, is one of the hardest languages to learn. And that wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me.
Hey, I'm back. I have my cup of joe.
Oh, you mean Roman numerals? Okay, gotcha. It's all right. Cuba's playing how to confuse T-Bone in one easy chat message.
I was gonna say that's not that hard, Cuba. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I go there? Oh, wait a minute. That's that Canadian Slam Fest thing, yeah.
Oh, that's harsh.
Well, like I said, I mean, you got to be ready for it. You should. Oh, dude.
Ow.
I recall.
I like it though.
Samuel would have a better story of this. The Enoch, the guy I play with.
Yeah.
We have a friend that made another friend.
Yeah.
So two, but he made him cry. Like
no kidding.
Cry. And this is not a child. I mean, we were in our 20s at the time.
Yeah.
But this friend of ours, Kelly, he was so good at the Slam Fest that, I mean, he made another friend of ours, Mikey, he made him ball. I mean, he was just, he broke down. He broke him. Harsh. Very, very harsh. And that was us as kids. And I try not to do it now because it's harsh. It's a little too much, and way too much for like a stream and the internet and all the rest of that. You can't get away with that kind of thing anymore. You know, it's not done. You know, you just don't do that, right? So yeah, I've been.
I don't know. That was a good.
The urge.
To be fair, that was an open goal. I'll give you that one.
It was, but and that's why I try to wait for the good ones so that they make sense. You know what I mean? So they're not silly or stupid or whatever, and they gotta make sense, right? They gotta. And I'm a good sport about it. I got no problem. You know.
Yeah, well, generally speaking, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I think if it was constant, I'd probably say, okay, come on, give me a break.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah.
I think Wolfgang makes a good point. It is, you know, you do have to know You do have to know how words are spelled. Although I would say you still have to know how words are pronounced or pronounced, depending on which way you use it.
That's what spelling bees are for, though.
We never had them.
Look, oh, we always had spelling bees, and they'd always throw a weird one. Psychiatrist. Please spell psychiatrist. Xylophone. You know, the good ones, right?
Oh, xylophone with an X. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, whatever, right? Like, there's all sorts of different ones out there that are weird names, and they're not spelled right. And then, of course, the there, and there, where you'd have to go, okay, could you please use that in a sentence? Because there's 3 different spellings for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
And when we had spelling tests, but we never had, like, spelling bees where it was broadcast on television and that kind of stuff. No, that's not. That's definitely a North American thing.
Yeah, we had them in like I was never on a televised one, to be honest. Like I was never, but we had them in school all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fairly constant.
Yeah. I'd imagine that would be the case. Okay, so that's going to go there. That's going to go there. Let me chew that over. No. Sorry, Cuba. I tend to be very strict about sending links. Okay.
And here I thought it was fairly crystal clear.
Yeah, I think it is pretty crystal clear. No, I got it, generally speaking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Because when you explained that you were talking about V as in the Roman numeral V for 5, that's fine. You know, I get that part. Now, hopefully, I've done my maths correct.
Do you have your calculator?
Yes, I do have my calculator.
Calculator?
Yes, calculator.
For calculating.
Yes, absolutely. It calculates. I know I'm saying it wrong. I know it's calculator, but it's fun.
We're having no doubt. Gotta have some fun.
Although my father, bless him, he didn't have a very good education when he was growing up, which meant he left school illiterate. But the other thing was he lacked confidence, and part of the thing, because one of the things that his parents would do is he would have certain words that he would constantly get wrong. So, but what they would do is they purposefully send him around the shops for the things that he couldn't say properly. You know, to try and get him to say it properly, but it just made the problem worse. So one of them was vinegar.
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah, I know. So one of them was vinegar. But instead, my dad used to say vigiger, for example. That was one of them, and then another one. There's a department store over here called Debenhams. Except not when my dad said it. It was Debenhams. Which is quite cute. Quite like that one. How do you pronounce you as in you? E-U-E.
Ew.
No, you.
Almost like ew. That's disgusting.
No, a you. No, it's a you. It's like a female. It's a female sheep.
I know, but he's asking how I pronounce that. In Canada, it's ew.
Yeah, where I would say you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm just wondering where he's going with this.
And is it Z or is it Z? There's all sorts of different.
Yeah. Oh, good grief, Mr. Deethers. That is a terrible dad joke.
What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? They're both parasites. Yeah, no doubt.
Nice. You didn't trick D. What are you talking about, Cuba?
Achievement unlocked. Trick D. Yeah, no, I don't know about tricking me. It's more of a difference in how we say things.
Yes. Potato,
England
potato.
to North America to... Yeah.
Yeah, look, Z or Z.
Yeah.
So it would be Z in the UK.
And it would be Z in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Depending upon how you're using it.
Mm. Yeah,
when
this
I was
is
younger, I had a nickname Oz, O-Z-Z.
Mm-hmm.
I would never describe it as O-Z-Z.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's yeah, there are certain terms that you. I mean, it's when I was on ships, it's one of the things I used to say to people. Look, I speak English. You speak American. Is what I used to say.
Yeah. And you could actually say it as you speak North American, because we do have a way of saying things here. Just like when,
Absolutely.
When kids would say something in what you might refer to as proper English, it would be, you'd give them a hard time for being a proper Englishman.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You're in North America. Speak like a North American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speak like a native.
Yeah. Yeah, but what you're really saying is speak like an American. Right? You don't say North American. You say speak like an American. Right?
Have we really gone into the terrible jokes chat? Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, that's dad joke time.
Did you know everyone can jump higher than the Eiffel Tower because the Eiffel Tower can't jump?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep. When Samuel gets tired, starts getting into the fairly horrible jokes as well.
Oh
Which is
dear.
fine. I get a kick out of a bunch of them. I give him a hard time for it, but I get a kick out of a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the dad jokes start coming out. But his dad was good for the dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes though, dad jokes can be a bit like chat-up lines. They can get a bit corny.
Oh, very corny, and they're supposed to. Personal opinion, no. I mean, dad jokes are supposed to get funny, and corny, and whatever. That's dad jokes.
So yeah, because one of them.
That's why we call them dad jokes.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to chat-up lines, I mean, the equivalent would be probably in America would be "Have you got a dime?" But here it would be "Have you got 10p?" And when the woman asks why, it would say, "So you can call your parents to say that you've pulled."
Okay.
Yeah, that would be one. Although one of my favourite ones has to be, do you believe in love at first sight, or do I have to pass you twice? I quite like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, if you get a chuckle out of the girl, right, and then eventually get her number, hey, achievement achieved, right?
Yeah, achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked.
Yes. And you don't get the little Xbox game going, dink.
Where do fruits go on vacation? Paris.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. We're trying to find the level at the moment, I think, Wolfgang. We're getting there. We're getting there, definitely. It was bad enough on one of Colonel Failure's streams, I think, which is on a Saturday night. He's currently playing Mountain Blade, Bannerlord. I don't know if you've ever played that.
Me, no.
Good game.
I got buddies that play it. Yeah.
Yeah, good game. In terms of sort of trying to build a kingdom, building yourself up from literally a peasant all the way up to, you know, a king of a kingdom, and you know, basically taking over different towns and cities, and having that strategy element as well, where you can fight in sort of close third person. Looks great.
My buddy Samuel has lots of fun with it.
But there was one of the streams where I think, I don't know whether it's just the way that we are in chat, but it just got to the point where the Colonel had just given up on chat, because basically we were just sort of swapping song lyrics, but we were doing it for the fun of it, and basically for, you know, for more of the joke element, and you know, for what was going on stream. And it got to the point where he kind of got a bit frustrated with us. Bless him.
Well, you can only follow so much chat.
Yeah, that's true. Although you can get the opposite is true when you're watching a stream. If you have a busy chat, what you can tend to find sometimes is you get that involved with the chat, you're not actually watching the stream. You're too busy chatting. So you can have the opposite problem.
Yeah, I could see that. Where you got enough activity in chat that you're really... And the guy playing, I mean, I know I ignore my chat far too much. Because I get playing and my mind is on 1,000 different things that I'm trying to get done. And, you know, I'm running numbers in my head or whatever I'm doing. And, yeah. It can be somewhat taxing on the whole.
I think for me, it's not just playing the game, it's also sort of hosting the stream and interacting with chats and doing that kind of stuff. So... no, I didn't. I need to see that clip, Wolfgang. So there was one point in the game where, unfortunately, as the leader, he basically gets captured and executed. How do you put a giraffe in the fridge? I have no idea. Have a feeling you're going to tell us, though.
Got to be something about the neck.
Quite possibly. And wait, we're all waiting with bated breath here.
Yeah.
This is as bad as okay. All right, D. How do you keep an idiot in suspense? I'll tell you next week.
I'll tell you. Yeah. I was waiting for that one. It's a good one, though. It is a good one. I like it. Especially if someone is being an idiot. All right, then you pop that one on them. What do you mean by that? Well, that's exactly what I mean by that.
The other thing you could say to people, and I've done this with Mom, and it has worked. Sometimes some things you can say. So you can say to some people, "Did you know that gullible isn't in the dictionary?"
And they'll go look it up. Yeah.
I love that.
I think, and I would hope, my quip would be, it depends on the dictionary.
Ah, very good.
Not that it's a really good comeback or that it slams you, but it's a comeback to something that, in theory, shouldn't have a comeback, right? If you can come up with one, then you're not ahead of the game, but you're providing a move to a counter move or a counter move to a move.
No, that's a good one. That's a good comeback. I like that.
We were well practiced back in the day, like back in our high school days and into our 20s. We were very, very practiced in it because you had to be in our group, and it was our group. It wasn't I don't think that was a cultural thing. I don't think it was like a North American thing. I think it was our group, and if you didn't, partake, then you got hammered. And it was basically, and then of course when MC Hammer came out with Hammer Time, then we of course quoted, you know what I mean, the various ways of saying Hammer Time, right? I believe, and I think Kelly's word was akapath, believe it or not.
I'm sorry?
Which doesn't make any sense. Akapath. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
Never been around us, right? But when you would get slammed, that was kind of the comment. It was like it was kind of weird. I agree. It was, like I said, you had to be around us, and we had, different words and different sayings and different things, and like any other group of individuals, I don't think we were any different than any other kids and groups and whatnot out there.
No, I think this is the thing. I think it is very true. I think you can form certain groups to certain people, and you end up, as part of that, you can end up sort of bonding over various things that you talk about, or even having almost like a language of your own.
Yep. Oh, dude, we had a lot of fun with it over the years. Like it was fun. It was, well, it's what we did, right? It's memories. I could probably write songs about it. How's that sound? You know what I mean? Like I could probably write a really good, I don't know if it would be epic, but you know what I mean? Like I'd probably write a really decent song about it and explain how we used to be when we were kids. You know what I mean? And how we used
of course.
The joking and the camaraderie and the brotherly whatever. And I mean, at the end of the day, when none of us were mad at each other, it was you'd look at them and you'd kind of smile and you say, "Yep, you got me on that one. Okay, yeah, no problem. I mean, I'll get you back. Not a problem."
Yep, always. I think I mentioned to you. This is a chat that we had, but I've not had on stream. But there's a friend of mine, and just like you say, people, giving people a hard time. That's something that happens in the UK. Although we would use terms like taking the mickey or taking the piss.
Yep.
For that kind of thing. And yeah, there was a friend of mine that would do it all the time. But the thing is that I got that used to it, that I would just play along with it, and I knew he was doing it. So I would just play along with it and just just take it to the extreme. And just go, "Oh, I can't believe you said that," and everything else. And I played up for laughs, right? Because I found it really amusing, because I'd caught on to the fact that he was trying to wind me up. And I remember doing it one time, and I was in the car, and I was going, "Oh, I can't believe you've done that," and everything else. And then all of a sudden, calm as a cucumber, I said, "You're winding me up, aren't you?" And he went, and he was that shocked, like, "Oh," it was great. It's like, "Oh, damn." Because in some ways you're turning it around on them by doing that.
Yep.
Which is brilliant. I love doing that.
Well, that's part of it, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. So there are times when I will actually go with the wind up, because I can see it coming. I think, okay, all right, let's see what happens if I take this to the extreme. Because I think you can.
I'd have to admit, I sort of backed off of it now because, well, once I got married, I could not treat my wife that way.
No,
that was just not a way one, because she would not understand it. Do you know what I mean? Like it would not go over well. It would not. So you didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm way out of practice on it now. Like way out of practice.
Oh, well.
But it's all good.
Continue streaming with me. I'm sure you'll get back in.
Oh, yeah. Well, slowly but surely.
As well as get used to a British sense of wit.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to get used to the British sense of humor. That's starting to kick in.
Oh, right. Okay. How would you describe it?
Well, different than Canadian.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
Well, it's not particularly wicked.
okay.
It's rather jovial.
Mm-hmm.
Not that hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with way worse, especially out in the oil field and
Oh, I can imagine.
all the rest of that. But those guys didn't joke. I mean, when they would get all, well, let's say pissy, right? Or taking a piss, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a lot different. I had guys threaten my job and all the rest of that fun stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a much different situation to deal with, like consultants out in the oil field. It was, yeah, much different.
Wolfgang says sometimes when someone yells or gives me the finger when I work, I just smile and wave. Yeah, don't blame
Yep.
him. That's
Wolfgang, blow him a kiss. Even better.
To be fair, there are times when, because I've had it before now. Because yeah, I mean, I've had it before now when I've been driving home from work, and you get some idiot behind you who's really annoyed with the way that you've driven, even though you haven't done anything wrong. And you know, they're sounding the horn and revving their engine and flashing the lights. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I'll go hello and wave, and
Yep.
yeah, you get people like that. And what gets me about people like
I
that?
used to get it all the time driving truck.
Yeah, and what gets
All
people?
the time.
What gets
all
me?
the time.
What gets me with people like that who are really impatient? They'll overtake you and they'll get stuck at the next set of traffic lights or something, and they haven't got much further than you have.
Yeah, no doubt, eh?
At which point you think, okay, so what was the point?
Yeah. You're having a fun day. And then you wave at them, and they just, they're incensed. They did, yeah, no doubt. They almost want to get out of their car and come beat you up, and it's like, okay, whatever, buddy.
Pierogi.
My best, actually, I got a good story for you.
Go on, then.
I'm in a truck. I'm in a, what was it again? The GVW was into the hundreds of thousands of pounds. I'm going to use pounds here. The tear weight of the truck, because of all the hydraulics and wet works and everything else that's underneath the truck.
Yeah.
The hydraulics of that truck, 27.5, so 35,000 pounds of a truck. It was a tri-axle, 6-wheel drive. Okay, so I could lock in all my axles. I had the largest tires that well, not the largest, but the largest that you go on the highway with. Okay, basically. Then I'm sitting well above your standard truck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm taller than your standard truck when I'm up there. So your standard highway unit is about 2 feet below me. So I'm in what we refer to as an oil field truck, right? Because it's higher, taller, got a larger clearance. It's made for the bush. It's made for the gravel and all the rest of that. So anyways, this guy drives up, and I'm walking through a parking lot of, I don't know. You know, I happen to go shopping, probably a Walmart. But I'm walking through a parking lot, and he drives up, and he acts like Mr. Joe Cool, and he's got his hot little wife, his trophy wife, sitting beside him, right? And he acts like he's Mr., all the rest of that. And I just kind of, yeah, whatever, buddy. Like, I don't really care. So you're driving a big truck. Whatever. You know what I mean? And he's got this 4-wheel drive decked out.
What, like an F-150 or something like that?
No. It was more of a diesel. I think it was a Dodge. But it was big, and it was a big truck. But he wasn't, to me, he didn't have anything in the box of it. So if you're like a welder and you're sitting there with, thousands of pounds worth of welding gear, it makes total sense that you've got this monster-sized truck. But if you're not, or if you're a farmer, now he didn't have a farm plate because up here in Canada, we got farm plates, right?
Okay.
So when it's a farmer, right? And farmers run farm plates because they get cheaper gas.
Makes sense.
Fuel. Okay, so he's just a city guy that has this big, huge truck, so he's overcompensating. No problem. And I just kind of, whatever. I didn't care. I passed him on. I didn't give a shit about it, because I don't. So I went in, did my Walmart thing, blah, 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 and I did my shopping, and I come out, and I'm sitting in my truck for a little bit, did up my logs, because now I got to leave, blah, 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 did my thing, right? Now I put my truck in gear, and I'm starting to drive away, and guess who drives past?
Him.
Mr. Mister. Honk, honk. And I just wave at him. His wife, the best. She broke out laughing so hard because her little hubby, you know, had to prove that he had the big truck. And here I drive by in this much, much bigger truck. And I just, whatever, honk, honk. See you later. Have a nice day. I enjoyed it. It was fun for me.
Yeah, I bet. Cuba's asking pierogi or not pierogi. Are you talking about the YouTuber or are you talking about something else, Cuba?
Pierogi or no pierogi? Okay, well, hang on. When you have pierogies, you should be asking onion, no onion, you know, bacon, no bacon. Isn't that the question?
I have no idea what it.
Or is it
so this is
pierogi or not to pierogi?
Right, okay, because this is obviously a food stuff that I'm not familiar with.
Well, it's pierogies. It's a Ukrainian food.
Ah, okay, that's probably why I'm not familiar with
so
it.
So they stuff the pierogi with there's all sorts of different fillings that you can put in all sorts.
Okay.
There's a lot of Ukrainians in and around where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have pierogies a lot. It's a fairly common food.
Okay. Because there's also a YouTuber by the same name. And there's a YouTuber by the same name of pierogi. But what he does, his channel is all about, basically he deals with, he sort of acts against scam call centers in India.
Oh, okay.
And he does a brilliant job of it. And he'll report, you know, he's had cases where he's managed to report money mules to the FBI and all this kind of stuff. But also deliberately he'll call these call centers up and he'll just wind them up, completely wind them up, and he knows
for the fun. Okay.
Yeah, just for the fun of it. But before now, he's deleted hard drives. He's deleted their hard drives. He's got various information on them. Yeah, brilliant channel. But he's very much on the sort of side of the consumer when it comes to not getting scammed. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. That's why I reacted the way I did. But no, it's not a food. It's not a food stuff. Does it? Oh, I didn't realize it. Yeah, because right, Cuba's originally from Poland.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had an uncle that was from Poland. I thought it was Ukrainians that brought up pierogies.
Yeah.
I definitely could be wrong on that.
Oh, there you go.
Could be wrong. Yeah.
The more you know.
Oh, it's actually got to be one of the things I've thoroughly enjoyed about having chats and meeting new people is that you meet new people and you learn new things. And
yeah.
All the rest of that.
Absolutely. Oh.
I have a Russian guy on my channel that is always messaging me in Russian. I would like to sit down and chat with him because my heritage is Russian. My father was Russian.
I never knew that.
My grandfather, yeah. Well, I was adopted, okay, but that's still my heritage. Like that's still, I grew up with a Russian. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with a Russian father. So that's still there. Like adopted or not, I still grew up with that. So I still grew up with the stories. And then on my mom's side, she was mostly German. So.
Okay.
With a bunch of mix on both of them. Neither one of them were percent.
Interesting heritage.
Yeah, well, it's they met, and I mean that's Canada for you though. Canada is replete with stories of people that met and learned and visited, or whatever, like multinationalities, like it's a multinational country. I don't think there's one singular heritage in Canada that you can say this dominates.
Mm-hmm.
I think America's the same way.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think America really does work the same way that way.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, your heritages mix a lot.
I think in the UK it varies. I would say that, generally speaking, you know, the vast majority of the UK would still identify as white British, and probably could trace their ancestry back hundreds, if not thousands, of years. But what's really changed over that time is the makeup of the UK, because we had, after the Second World War, we had the Windrush generations. So we had people coming from the West Indies and various parts of the Caribbean, kind of like in the 1950s and 60s. And the real sort of wave of immigration from different countries was down to Tony Blair in 1997, and has carried on ever since then at quite a rate, which has changed the makeup of various cities to the point where, if you go to London now, London, for example, is very much an international city. It's not really an English city, or I wouldn't classify it as.
I get you.
Yeah. Birmingham is heading the same way.
But we have cities in Canada that are what I would call a national city, rather than an international city.
Yeah.
We joke about Vancouver on the west coast of Canada in British Columbia. It's in the south, right above the States.
Yeah.
We call it Hongcouver because of the amount of Chinese people that have settled there.
Yeah.
And it's not officially changed or nothing, but if you go to Vancouver and you go drive around Vancouver, it's like, have you seen a white person yet? Well, no, you haven't. Right? Because it's almost all East Indians, I hate to say it this way, doing the low-end jobs, and the Chinese people doing the high-end jobs.
Curious.
So if you go downtown, it's almost predominantly Chinese people running. It is, because they have all the office jobs. They have the education. Whereas the Indian, the East Indian, they came in and they run all the menial jobs. They will serve your food. They will. And I hate to say that, it really sounds really, really bad. It does. I get it, that it sounds bad. But go to Vancouver someday. Live Vancouver someday, because I drove there for many, many years. So it was something that I missed one. Oops. It was something that I noticed.
Yeah.
I mean that.
So, but for us, it varies on areas now. So if you go out into various areas in shires and everything else, it's going to be predominantly white British. But if you go into the towns and cities, particularly the cities, they're definitely more multicultural and multi-ethnic.
I gotcha.
That tends to be the
and rural Canada, white. Now that could be Ukrainian, that could be all sorts of different versions and flavors of white, but it is white.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of white out in rural Canada.
Yeah. I'm certainly not going to get into the politics of the whole thing, because you know, this is a gaming channel, for God's sake.
Oh no, whatever.
I'm just stating facts.
Nothing to do. Yeah, well, that's what I mean by. If you're wondering, I don't mean to be whatever about it.
No, neither am I.
Just go there.
No.
Yeah, go there and you'll see.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain areas in Birmingham that are predominantly Muslim. Definitely.
Yep.
In fact, there's a particular area in Birmingham that's actually called the Baltic Triangle, and it's well known. It's internationally renowned for its curry.
Okay.
In fact, in terms of takeaways in the UK, the most popular takeaways in the UK are either curry or Chinese.
I get you.
So, not fish and chips. It is in the top.
No, and you would think like English style fish and chips.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the top 10, but it's not. No,
yeah, it's in there. Yeah.
It's in there. It's in the top 10, but it's not number 1 and number 2. Ah, so the name pierogi actually comes from Poland. Okay. Also, Kuba's testing our knowledge. Where the origin of vodka. Now, I'd be tempted to say Russia, but I have a feeling it isn't.
I would answer Russia.
Yeah.
The origin of vodka, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Although, here's an interesting one. The origin of bourbon whiskey.
Isn't that Scotland?
No. Wales.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So there is a Welsh. It's one of my favourite whiskies. Actually, it's made. There's a Welsh distillery by the name of Penderyn, and if you go to the distillery down there, I had the tour, and what it was a Welsh immigrant who had a particular recipe for whiskey, and migrated to the United States, and that became bourbon.
Cool.
There you go.
Information.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Known that. Yeah. I think the water tower is finally done.
Hooray! Well done.
Yeah, well, everything up and everything down is full of water.
Okay, that's a lot of water.
Well, it's 10 in, 9 out.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 9 pipes at, let's figure out the math here. 9 times 600, I can have 5,400 liters of water.
Yeah, that's a lot.
When we get to MK2s, by the way. Okay, because it's, like I said, 10
MK2?
in, 9 out. Yeah, well, when we get to MK2 pipes.
Oh!
Right now, it's,
I see.
9 times 300 is only 2,700 coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only have a certain amount of stuff running right now.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But that's right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Darn it, I'm missing iron plate. It's always the simple things, isn't it?
Always.
Of course, when this is done, then I've got to actually belt the. I've got to actually put the belts in to belt the coal across. You know, I'm not done. I'm not done by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh no, you won't be done for a while.
Yeah. But definitely need to spend some time on a spreadsheet next week. At which point I'll have to share the plans with you. Put it in a droid and send the droid off to you. At which point it'll go, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope." I thought you'd appreciate that one.
Sure.
Actually, I haven't seen Star Wars in a very long time. Not the original ones, anyway. Not the good Star Wars.
I've had them on Blu-ray for quite a few years.
So have I.
And watched them many times.
So have I, although... Yep.
Well, I was going to say, there's a difference between having them and watching them.
Oh, yeah, of course. In fact, it was... there was a bit of a tradition between me and a friend of mine, is that we used to watch like a series of movies for New Year's. So we watch all the Pirates of the Caribbean or things like that, and we did do Star Wars one year, and we did episodes 1 to 6, and yeah, that took a while. And this is before Disney Star Wars was really out. And I would say I was disappointed with Disney Star Wars on the whole. Episode 7 was okay, but they kind of remade Episode 4.
Yeah, I get you.
And then after that, it just went downhill. I don't know what Rian Johnson was thinking. Because one of the things I didn't like the character of Rey, and one of the reasons I didn't like the character of Rey is that if you're going to have someone who's just sort of, becoming a Jedi and learning the Force, I mean, for goodness sakes, if you're going to have them meet the main protagonist, i.e. Kylo Ren, and she beats them in the first film, come on, really?
Yeah.
At which point, what threat is Kylo Ren to her? None.
None. Right.
So it defeats.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's no. Why would you do that? It should be the case that they might have a bit of a tussle, and then basically she might get picked up by a ship or something like that in the first episode.
Hey, but to me, anyways, this is a very, very personal opinion.
Okay, go on then.
But to me, in Hollywood, they have lost the ability to write since somewhere in the late 80s and 90s.
I think
I don't think they've written anything really good coming out of Hollywood in almost 20 years.
Interesting.
They've done remakes. They've taken comic books, which it's great. I like the comic series. Like I like the I got no problem with them. But really, you're taking somebody else's writing and you're making something. No different than converting a book, right? Like I was mentioning, I've got a couple TV series that I was watching, right? And some are good and some are bad. My wife loved and really wanted to see the Outlander series.
Okay.
Diana Gabaldon, I could be saying that name improperly, wrote a series of books called The Outlander. It's a total chick stuff, but I'm married and I have to watch chick stuff every once in a while. Well, I come on, happy wife, happy life, dude.
Yeah.
If you don't understand that, you ain't gonna be married for a while.
Yeah, I know. There's two. Yeah, it's true. There's two things. There's two things I know about marriage. Right. Number one, a woman's place is in the right.
Okay.
Okay. Number two, the one thing a husband should always say to a wife is "Yes, dear."
Yeah. The two most successful words in your marriage will be "Yes, dear."
Correct.
But you still got to stand your ground. Kuba mentions nothing good from Hollywood. Okay, now that I think about it, it is true. Yes, Kuba, it is. I mean, if you look at stuff like the Marvel series as something that somebody else wrote, because it is. Somebody else wrote the Marvels, right? That was all Stan Lee. And I mean, hey, kudos. They paid homage to Stan Lee when he did it. All the rest
Indeed.
of it. Okay, fine. Okay, no, great. And I'm not saying they did anything wrong there, but it is somebody else's writing. Okay, so to look at Hollywood and say that they made the Marvel series or that Hollywood did something stupendous or astounding, no, they didn't. Not to me, anyways. They took a bunch of books that were already written. Yes, they're comic books. Yes, they're graphic novels. But they took something else, and they made a movie series. Morning, hon. My wife's just getting up, so.
Okay.
But everybody says hi.
Yeah.
Or she says hi to everybody.
Hello there, we.
When they take something that somebody else has done, yeah, I mean, kudos to them. Okay, great, fantastic. But I can't give them credit. That's what I was getting to, is that I can't really give Hollywood credit for doing that because it's not really accredited to them. You see where I'm going with that?
I can see where you're going with it. However, there are some movies out there that have been based on various books over even in the period that you said, and there are movies that are held in high esteem by various people.
No arguments.
So, for example, there was a short story by Philip K. Dick that ended up becoming Total Recall.
Yep. I'm not saying that they haven't made good movies. That's not what I mean. What I mean is original writing, storytelling from Hollywood. So, okay, to me, there's a difference. There's a difference between Hollywood taking something that somebody else wrote and then movie-fying it, making it into a movie, and making it into a screenplay. And yeah, I'm not saying there isn't some talent there. That some guy with some talent had to come up with the screenplay. Okay, so screenwriters and all the rest. No arguments, none. I'm not bashing the Screenwriters Association. That's not really what I mean by that.
Yep.
It's just that I haven't really seen any good writing coming out of Hollywood for many, many years. I haven't. And then when they do come up with a book, a rewrite, a screenplay, something done on somebody else's work, it's got some of them done really well. Total Recall. I mean, 2 different sets of movies done on Total Recall, and I own both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like I haven't bought these over the years. I have. But do you actually accredit that to Hollywood when they come up with something good like that? Like, do you credit Hollywood with that, or do you credit the book writer for that?
Well, it's a split. It's a split, isn't it? I mean, for example, the thing is that a lot of artists, whether it be musicians, poets, and everything else, they all sort of feed off each other. I mean, you've got various, for example, you've got Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra, which is based on a theme by Henry Purcell. So okay, but also you've got composers that will potentially borrow themes from other composers. At which point, who do you credit?
Well, music to me is a little different.
Okay.
In that, there's only, well, okay, depending upon which culture and which scale, right? You've only got a certain amount of notes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 9 in the Arabic scale. There's 7 in the Chinese scale, right? But you've only got a certain amount of notes. And although there is millions upon millions of permutations of those notes but there is eventually going to be certain themes that come out. Now, if I come up with, and I love Guy Mitchell-Moore. He's actually an English chap.
Okay.
I love watching him for musical scoring, because he did some of the Marvel animated series.
Oh, right.
He scored the music for it. Okay, excellent guy. I love it. He's got a great accent. I love watching his videos, and I'm actually taking one of his courses.
Okay.
For orchestral scoring.
Nice.
So anyways, when he does some of his stuff, he actually took 6 dice, because you don't normally play the 7th note of in a North American scale, your standard, whether it be any of the modes, doesn't matter, okay, but any of the keys, you normally play 7 notes, but you don't play the 7th. I mean, come on, that's a diminished blah, blah, blah note. And it just doesn't, I mean, the Beatles were able to mix it in with a bunch of the stuff they did, but basically you don't play that note. Okay, no problem. But so you take 6 dice and you roll them. Yeah. And and those 6 dice will determine what notes you're going to play and what scale you're going to do. Okay. Well, okay, so if I take that and I do that, okay, now I randomly, and that is a seriously randomly, come up with 6 notes. And they are in a certain order. 1, 2, 4, 5, 1. You know what I mean? Just to go by a bunch of numbers. Okay, well, that is the exact same as this guy. Am I copying him, or am I just writing music? Okay, now transfer that over to what we were talking about, which is movies and stories and all the rest of that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there is billions of different ways you can put words together. Whereas music, I'm going to say it still lies in the million of different ways you can put music together. Right? Or are you with me on that, or am I making too many assumptions here?
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying. However, what I would say is, when it comes to stories, that there's certain themes that will crop up over and over again in stories.
Right. No arguments. Just like there's certain themes and everything in music.
Yep.
Right. But with a story, though, I can go billions of different directions. Right. Whereas with music, some just sound good and some don't. You know that because you're a musician. There are some combinations of notes that just you can't make a song out of that. It doesn't work because it doesn't sound good. Whereas words, you can put those words into so many different angles and ways and storylines and all the rest of that. No arguments that certain storylines come out, right? Protagonist, antagonist, love story, this happens, that happens.
Yep.
I mean, I'm with you that there is certain angles and certain things that just work out, right? And so that's why stories come out to be certain things. But I would still say that a wordsmith has more at his disposal than a music smith does. That's kind of where I'm going with that. So when I hear, whether it be Katy Perry and her song, or whether it be, what's his name there? Castle on the Hill guy. I'm forgetting his name.
No idea.
Because he's pretty famous. Redheaded guy.
Ed Sheeran?
Ed Sheeran, yes. Like I said, people are going to laugh at me. What the hell? You forgot Ed Sheeran's name? Anyway, so they both went into fight about the songs that they created.
Although I must admit, when you said red-headed guy, my first thought was Mick Hucknall. Yeah.
I got you. But yeah, these people have gone to court to fight the fact that I wrote that.
Yeah, they
Does
have.
it sound the same? Yeah, it does. Okay. But
that's down to chord structure.
I'm still gonna defend when I say that wordsmiths have more options, because to me they do. I think it's not. Maybe I'm wrong on it, but I feel that a wordsmith has way more options on a story. But then again, how many storylines really work?
This is the thing.
Yeah, I've watched, there's some Canadian film stuff, okay, that's horrible. And I freely admit, my country can sometimes make some really, really bad films. And far too often, they deal with reality. Reality, it only plays a certain part, you know what I mean? Like, you can only have certain amount of reality when it comes to stuff. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You know, like you can't. Nobody comes to a movie theater to watch reality. I hate to say it that way, but they don't. They come to see a story.
Yes and no.
No.
I think sometimes they might want something that's potentially based in history.
Okay, I could see that.
Take
like a historical documentary or a movie.
Or something based in something with a historical basis. Take Amadeus, for example, which was based on a play by Peter Shaffer, which was then adapted to a film. I did really well. In fact, I did. In fact, I got my honours part of my degree writing about that film.
Gotcha.
Because I compared the film to historical fact. So I asked the question, to what extent is that film historically accurate? And my conclusion was it has historical basis, but it's not historically factual. In fact, some of it is spot on. So, for example, one of the things that happens in the film is there's like a piano stroke sort of keyboard duel. Those really went on. Those really happened. Between composers.
Okay.
Yeah, so things like that would really happen. So you get things like that, but you would get... obviously, there were certain things that were wholly inaccurate. My thinking is this. I agree with you to a certain extent. When it comes to Total Recall, yes, you have acknowledged that it's adapted from a book, but you still have to, for me, I still acknowledge, obviously, the craft of making the film, the writing, the direction, the acting, the production, and so on, as well as the cinematography and everything else. Oh, by the way, Wolfgang's, when you said red-headed guy, Wolfgang's thought of Simply Red as well, so it's not just me. No, come on, you're not old. It's fine. We were both going there. So you do. But the thing is that for a lot of people, they'll go and see the film. They won't necessarily know. They won't necessarily know what it's adapted from. So they'll see the movie for the movie.
Yeah.
They won't necessarily know that it's adapted from a book or a particular screenplay or a television show or a theatrical play or whatever. They'll go and they'll see it as a movie on its own merit. But the thing is that I think there's a couple of things that's happened to Hollywood. First of all, I think one of the things that's really happened is what I would call the death of the movie star. And that's mainly happened because of the internet. Because of the internet and social media, I think the mystique about movie stars has completely gone. Because
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah,
because the thing is, it used to be one of the drawing points or one of the pull factors for you to go and see a film was because it was starring Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sly Stallone or Bruce Willis and so on. Yeah. Not so much today. And particularly with comic book films, if you look at posters back in the 80s and 90s, right, it would be a poster of the actor or actress, like literally, and it'd be just them, well, maybe the uniform or a costume or whatever with the film title.
Okay. Yeah.
If you look at comic book movies, it isn't. It's the character, like Spider-Man or Batman, or that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a Spider-Man movie or a Batman movie. You're going to see Captain America. You're not going to see Captain America because it's played by Chris Evans.
Nope.
And I think it's such a shame because, and this is the thing, I think there are certain people, okay, there are certain names that stick out, but the thing is, a lot of these people are getting on in years. Tom Cruise, for example. I think people were recently surveyed. The names that were sticking out were people like Tom Cruise, Harrison Ford, who's must be in his 70s by now.
Yeah.
And another one was Chris Hemsworth. It's probably about, I think it is his 40s and 50s. But this is the thing. So that's part of it. But also, we've gone from a series of, I think studios used to take risks with films as well. And they used to make more sort of lower budget films, which meant you got more variety of films. So, you get years where, the biggest grossing film in one year was Rain Man. When was the last time you saw a film like that?
You don't. I don't think they could actually make a Rain Man now because you'd be under so much scrutiny for doing it. Even though Dustin Hoffman did an awesome job with it.
He did a brilliant job.
I think they'd be under scrutiny for that.
Or Erin Brockovich, or A Few Good Men.
Okay, Aaron Brockovich, very true story.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to get another Aaron Brockovich without the story behind Aaron Brockovich, though.
Yeah, but that sort of thing, like a courtroom stuff, or you don't see the mate.
Okay, or A Few Good Men, or a Perry Mason, or I get you. Okay.
Yeah, you don't get that. And what you seem to get now is you get films that are. You seem to get films that are basically the budgets are $200 million. They're all blockbusters. They're all either superhero or action or that kind of stuff, and that tends to be what goes up on the screen. So you end up with either Marvel or DC, with Marvel, DC, Indiana Jones came out this year, and it's very rare that you see a film where you think, you know what, that's more original. Things like Oppenheimer this year, which was to do with the Manhattan Project, which I thought great, fantastic, but I think the only reason that film got funded is because who directed it.
Okay, I haven't actually watched that one.
Yeah, but it does look good. And as I said, it's only now that we're sort of out of what I call blockbuster season and we're coming into awards season that we're starting to see more interesting movies. The only lower budget movie that I know that came out around that time that looked that was of any note outside of the the blockbuster CGI and all that fare was probably Sound of Freedom, which was to do with child trafficking.
Yeah, exactly. And people are trying to snuff that one out.
Yeah.
Because they don't want. Well, there's a certain group of people that don't want that to be seen, and they are obviously the child traffickers. Because otherwise, why would you not want it to be seen?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I'd like to see more variety of films. That's my thing.
Well, I'll drag you over to Canada. I'll show you some of our variety, and you like.
Okay, perhaps not of the Canadian variety then.
Well, okay, so there's a movie called Mesmerized with Jodie Foster in it.
Oh right.
Okay, now Jodie Foster being a fairly decent actress, right?
Yes, agreed.
And I own the DVD for this movie, and I actually wrote on the case of the DVD, "Do not play this." It is that horrible that somebody in Hollywood produced this show, and it's trash. It's horribly written. It's very badly produced. It should have never hit the airwaves. You know what I mean? If I was to be honest, it should have never made it past the, beginning stages, right? It just shouldn't have. There's many things that should have happened and not happened to this show, and it should have never come out. But it's a reminder to me of how even the best of studios can mess up.
Oh yeah, of course
and mess up very badly, right? So it's also a reminder to not buy everything that you see on the rack, because just because it's on a rack doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, it just because it's there doesn't mean it's going to be good. It's not how that works, kind of deal. So, anyways, the show is, well, it's horrible. I have no other way to describe this thing, other than it's just, okay, it's not watchable. It really isn't. As something that's been produced, you know what I mean? It's not. It just isn't. It just, I don't know. Anyway, it's just because it's Hollywood, or because it's this, or because it's that, doesn't mean that it's good. Doesn't mean that you're gonna want to absolutely watch it. Doesn't mean anything. It was shoved out of the whatchamacallit, of the grinder, basically, and thrown into a movie theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just set up coal, compacted coal, another line of it.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Kind of rambling.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. So you could be, I think that's part of it as well.
Battlefield Earth, John Travolta. It wasn't a very good movie. I'd have to go with
go on
that.
Go on, D. What's the worst movie you've ever watched?
Mesmerized, Jodie Foster.
Okay. You know what mine is? Has to be Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
I can see that. No.
Oh, the script was awful. Schwarzenegger was really bad in it. I mean, George Clooney.
Mr. Freeze. Yeah, no,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
George Clooney basically when they're bidding over, I can't remember who they're bidding over, but when he pulls out a Batman credit card, I'm thinking, okay, now you've lost me. No, I watched it one afternoon. I think I was on the Galaxy, and I watched it one afternoon because it just happened to be on television, and I'm thinking, darn it, that's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah. See, and the reason I wrote on that Mesmerized DVD and I left it in the shelf, one, I repurchased it.
Why?
Because me and my wife own a little over 3,500 movies.
Wow.
If I were to, well, okay, well, here's the thing, and don't. So, all of my years of driving truck.
That's quite a collection.
Okay, well, I was never one for listening to the radio because I was always up north. So there is no radio, right? This was long before Sirius Satellite came out. This is long before any of that.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't have a radio. Yeah, you got your playlist, but we also didn't have iPods and, phones with,
No.
with data in them, right? Like, we had satellite phones. We had the bag phones. That was it. There was no cell phone. Okay, and then remember, this is like 10 years of this or 15 years of this.
Yeah.
At the beginning of my trucking life. And I was always out in the middle of nowhere. So I would stop off at truck stops, and truck stops would sell movies.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, when we drove together, we had a VHS combo TV, like where it had a VHS player and a TV in the same situation. Okay, and then I transferred that up and I had a DVD player and a TV set together. It was like a little 13-inch, but same thing, right? And we would watch movies as we rolled down the road. Okay, so you buy a movie here, you buy a movie there. Oh, I watched that one already. And you're only buying a movie off a rack. And I mean, usually the truck stop movies were old and garbage. I don't want to say they're all garbage, but they were old and they were garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not getting, like, you're not going to Best Buy and you're not buying the newest movie. You're buying an old something that's been on the shelf for a while. And you're buying it at like $10 a movie. So I have a very large collection of $10 movies and $5 cheapo shelf movies that I bought over 30 years. And yeah, that's become me and my wife's collection.
Okay.
We would go to the bargain bins and buy stuff from the Best Buy or the Walmarts or the whatever in the world. And that's how the collection got even bigger. My wife loves movies, so well, anyways, long story, Mesmerized. I ended up going to a Walmart, and I ended up seeing it in a bargain bin. I came home, and I'm like, we watched it. I'm like, honey, we watched this already. And she said, really? Yeah, we both figured it out all of a sudden. We figured out that we bought and then rebought the worst movie that's ever been produced. And so I was then that I decided to make an actual movie list that sits on my smartphone. So when I'm in a Best Buy, a whatever, right, a Walmart, and I'm buying movies out of the cheapo bin, I sit there and I look at my list of, like I said, it's near 3,500 movies, and it takes up an entire wall in our living room, and I, custom made some shelves.
That's cool.
At one time, yeah, it's a very large part. As long as we have power, we don't need internet, we don't need streaming services, we don't need.
Yeah, well, I think there's something to be said about owning physical media.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that yes, you could have a monthly subscription to Prime and all of these different services and so on. But here's the thing about that. The problem that you've got with those services is what happens when you no longer have that subscription.
Yeah.
Because if you buy something, you're buying a license to either rent that film or buy that film, but I believe you've only got access to it while you've got an account.
Yep.
So once you've lost the account, that's it.
Yep.
At which point you think, oh, slight problem.
Exactly.
That goes there. So I'm figuring out my belt work.
I changed one of your custom colors, by the way.
I've been figuring out how to try and do that because there's certain things I do want to custom color, but that's mainly at the factory. But don't worry if you've changed it already.
Well, down on the whatchamacallit, you can always change it back, but that will change the color of the water tower.
Right.
Like if you change it back, you'll change the color of the water tower.
Oh, I see.
I
Yep.
always do the custom swaths that are down below. I don't do the top ones. You do the top 4. Those are your basics. Like that. I
Yeah.
mean, unless you want to change your entire factory, all the machines and everything all at once, and make like your color scheme red or something.
I didn't
I've known
realize.
other people to do that.
I didn't realize you're a painter and decorator.
Well, when I do the water tower, it's got to be blue, dude.
Oh, okay.
The water tower has to be blue.
All
You
right.
can't have an orange water tower
Fine.
because the water tower's got to be blue. Call me strange, but it has to be blue.
I have no idea
I know
why.
I'm weird.
No.
I'm
No.
weird, but,
If you say has to be blue, then it has to be blue.
well, it's a water tower.
I mean, you know, why on earth a water tower has to be sad about it? I haven't got a clue. At which point everybody's going, huh?
Yeah. Huh? If anyone wants to see what a water tower is, come check out my stream.
No, as in
You'll see what a water
my comment.
Oh,
You know, why water tower? You know, what does the water tower have to be sad about it?
okay. Yeah, I got it.
There we
I
go.
totally missed that one. I got it.
Jeez.
I'm
Good
slow
grief.
today. I need more coffee.
For a
If I
minute-
need more coffee. I gotta go get
For a
one.
minute, I was going to do a Jeff Dunham there and go meow. Assuming you know who Jeff Dunham is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know who Jeff Dunham is.
Yeah.
I kill you.
Silence! I kill you! Although I love Peanut. Oh man,
Well, there's not too many successful ventriloquists.
no.
So I mean, he is. Yeah, he's the premier to me anyway. He's
Certainly modern day,
nobody's made,
yes.
Yeah.
Modern day, I agree. I mean, there's been various Ventax over the years.
Yeah. Senior, what's his name there? He was the other guy. Pretty famous. Alright.
Yeah, it's the same with us. I mean, there's, you know, we had or was it, Lord Charles and Ray Allen. We had, this is British. We had Roger de Courcy and Nookie the Bear, who was that was quite near the knock and quite adult, but really funny. We had Keith Harris with Orville and Cuddles. Yeah, there was various ones in the UK. But certainly Jeff Dunham. I think what made it was when the Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, when that went viral, that was it. His career just took off.
It was the I kill you.
Yeah.
It was that part because I mean the Cold War was on. We were getting, basically he shouldn't have, right? Because I mean there was suicide bombers, and that's what Ahmed is. He's a suicide bomber.
Yeah.
Right, but he's still alive to sit and make jokes about it.
A very dead
And I mean, the first time I ever
terrorist.
saw it, I thought, well, yeah, but I thought to myself, I'm like, buddy, like you're taking a huge risk here. I mean, that's just wow. Wow, okay. But then he went viral and he was successful, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't think there was any. I thought it was funny. I can understand a joke, right? But I figured that he would actually. It would backfire. I really did. I thought that would backfire because it was Ahmed, because he was making fun of not just a race, but of something that particular race was doing at that point in history.
But that's the thing. That's the thing about humor. It is possible to basically make fun of anything, at least theoretically speaking.
Yeah.
And that's
But you know what I mean. I mean, it's backfired for some guys.
Oh yeah.
Like, holy backfired, Batman. Did that ever not go the way it should?
No.
No, Batman. Yeah, no doubt.
God rest Neil Hefti. People are going Neil Hefti. Yes. Person who wrote the Batman theme. Very talented arranger as well. Mainly came out of the sort of sort of big band era and that sort of stuff. Because I think he arranged for Count Basie. I seem to remember.
Don't know my composers at all.
Hmm.
Like I said, I mean, when it comes down to names, I'm horrible. I was at a long time ago. I told you the story about that guy that I worked with, that he knew all the composers and who was who, and who wrote what, and what year, and who was in the sound room, and he just amazed me. And I mean, then I tell people I went and took music and whatnot, and I should know my history, but names, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
Just totally.
Mind you, when it comes to a recording room, there's one thing that everything needs: more cowbell.
More cowbell. No doubt. Eh?
Great sketch.
Just don't tell Van Halen that. They have far too much cowbell.
Because I'm Bruce Dickinson. Fantastic sketch.
Need more cowbell.
Yep. It was a very 70s thing, wasn't it, cowbell?
Yes, cowbells were, yes. 80s, 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
I mean,
things like
Ozzy used it throughout the 70s. Led Zeppelin tossed it in on a couple songs. Van Halen really, I mean, not that they used it in a lot of songs, but their songs were well played, right? And it had a cowbell in it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, it was one of those things.
Yeah, I'm thinking
down to one of those things.
Yeah, All Right Now by Free.
Yep.
That was another one.
So much blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a water tower, Kuba. Gotta be blue.
Yeah. Yeah. Soon it'll be taking up guitar and going dong 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 dong. Probably in 12 bars. You know, it'll be complaining that it woke up this morning with a headache and
Water towers are gray. Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know.
all the towers are blue and the sky is grey.
Concrete walls yet. Yeah, we don't have concrete walls yet,
I thought we did.
so I can't make it. No.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Do we got concrete walls?
Unlock
We got
concrete.
concrete foundations.
Oh,
Yeah, we got concrete foundations.
Yeah, because I know
Which is
unlocked. Yeah, because I unlocked the asphalt. I know that. I know I did that. Concrete foundations, yes.
Okay.
Just not concrete walls yet. Okay, well, this is getting there. Bit like British Rail. Back in the day.
Eventually we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm dead.
What?
Oh.
What do you mean? What? I
Fell
have
off
no.
my own water tower.
D, you had one job.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna blame you.
Why? What did I do?
But. So when you bought out the walkways,
Yes.
okay, you bought out the walkway instead of the industrial. Now there's a difference between these walkways. You can walk in between the walkways. You can't walk in between the industrials.
I'm lost.
Okay, there's two different walkways in this game.
Yes, I know, and I thought I bought the right ones.
No. So when you get a corner walkway,
Yeah.
or when you get it connecting to, right, you can't walk in between that. But when you're way up on top, okay, of a water tower, and you've done your walkways the way I have, you can actually walk in between those walkways.
You're telling me I bought the wrong ones?
It's all good. There's just too much space in between the walkways up here. And so I can walk in between them and fall off my tower.
Yeah, but that's your fault.
Well, I'm just going to blame you, though.
You would. Does that mean when I die, I blame you?
Sure.
Okay,
I wasn't there.
that works.
Okay.
All right, yeah, deal. I'll go with that.
Okay.
As long as we have a mutual understanding.
Yeah, no. This is mutual understanding. It's no big deal. No big deal.
Oh,
It just means I
dear.
got to watch when I'm painting my tower here.
Come on,
'Cause, yeah,
come
then
on.
I got to put a roof on it.
Now, come
but
on.
I'm waiting for glass roofs.
Now, come on, chat. What would you rather watch? Strictly Come dancing getting a celebrity locked in a cave, or would you rather watch us playing Satisfactory and having this level of banter? Let's face it. Oh, Cooper, how long will the one job thing go on for? Oh, indefinitely. You should know this by now.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be you'll be listening to me and
Yeah, well,
going back and forth each other, and we're still gonna say you had one job.
yeah.
Like literally, dude, you had one job.
Yeah.
You were supposed to buy the proper walkway.
Yeah.
You had one job.
Yeah, exactly.
I never actually communicated which walkway I wanted. I'm sure if I had said it, because they cost the exact same amount. It's not like one is cheaper or more expensive than the other.
I think you did say
Went in.
No.
And he went, I'll get that one. He didn't really care.
Well, you did. No, I think you did say industrial walkway.
Yeah, I did, but it's no big deal. I like the look of the industrial walkways better. I think they did a much better job.
Okay.
These walkways are the originals.
Oh.
Well, I mean, originally the game didn't have walkways in it.
No, it didn't.
This was added later on. Okay, but when the walkways are added, then there was a mod, okay, that was what is now the industrial walkways. And believe it or not, everybody used the industrials. Nobody used these because they don't match. They don't match up. They don't. They look like crap.
In answer to Cooper's question, yeah, I could put something in the Orson sink, but I haven't put the taps on yet. Yeah, who would have thought you'd end up Wolfgang? Who would have thought you'd end up watching paint dry on the stream?
Yeah, no doubt. But it's already dried. It's good. It's okay. It's good. And now the water tower is blue.
It's almost as if you need you need sort of like bossa nova background music, like Girlfriend Ipanema or something like that.
When you're painting.
Yeah.
So now there's going to be a roof on that, everybody, but I'm waiting for glass. And I'm not going to push T-Bone on getting glass. We got other things to get. But that's the water tower. And now I've got 10 pipes coming out of, or 9 pipes coming out of it. And each one of these will eventually get upgraded to MK2. And then each one of these will run 12. So you go 9 times 12. All right.
Do we not have
that's
glass?
108.
I thought we did.
What's that?
I thought we had glass. Because I know we got silica.
Yeah, there's no glass.
Okay.
It's all good. I'm not. To me, the tower functionality is in. You know what I mean?
That's the main
the
thing.
Functionality of the tower is in. I don't care about the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of other stuff that needs to be gotten, like, long before we ever go for glass. There's so many things that need to be done before we go glass. But now I'm on to building the actual, whatchamacallit?
Wolfgang, if you're saying that the fun part of painting is watching it dry, I do really worry about you. Oh well, horses for courses, I suppose.
Water tower is depressed. Watching D paint. I'm just catching up on your chat.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah. And now I got to do one more color.
Yeah, guess what? So it was mine. Wolfgang says sarcasm. I says, guess what? So's mine. It's all good fun, dude. Don't worry. It's all in good jest.
There it is.
So, trying to work out what. This is one of these times where I wish I had an overhead view.
Oh, okay.
Try and figure out what the hell I'm doing. Come here, you. Alright, now, okay. That. Oh, not again. These bees keep respawning. Go away! Leave me alone! Why do bees suddenly appear? Every time I am near. Ah, dear. Right, that should do it. Built some foundations to get rid of them.
Is there a way to toe down the blue a bit? Yes, there is. Am I going to? No, I'm not. This makes a statement.
No, it makes a statement, all right. Whether it makes the right one is another matter.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, thanks for popping in, Rod.
Oh, hey, Rod.
You trying to stop Storm Babbitt from coming in the window? What's wrong with the window? Will be my question. Okay, so... Hang on, is this one? Yeah, you get to this point in building and go, oh, damn, I've missed the spot.
There. Not quite universal. Oh, I did goof up over here.
Oh, Wolfgang, that's really poor. Oh, no. That's a shame. You'll have to get, if it's double glazing, you'll have to get someone to fix it then.
There you go. The
You got water dripping everywhere. Oh, nasty.
Is my stream way back there on your picture-in-picture?
Yeah.
Wow. Or is your stream delayed by that much?
It maybe when I started it, to be fair. Because you have to bear in mind...
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. No. I did my famous where I clicked on the stream at a certain point.
You're doing well then.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your fix-it water tower.
Hey. Nicely done.
I didn't do it with the true fix-it, but I can't make the check mark anyway, so
Oh,
I don't
well.
even try.
Yeah. All the best with that, Rod. I hope you managed to get the window fixed and you managed to survive the night. That sounds horrific. Bless you.
That doesn't sound very good.
No, it doesn't.
No. Water dripping everywhere? No. Uncool.
Definitely. Yeah, as they would say in oversimplified, dude, uncool. Fantastic channel. Particularly if you want historical events explained, but in a relatively simplified way, but also factual. It's brilliant. The animations are fairly simple.
Oversimplified?
Oversimplified, yeah.
Okay.
It's very, very good. So they go through things like the American Civil War, the American War of Independence. They'll go through the Napoleonic Wars, all that kind of stuff. I think there's even one on Prohibition, and it explains it really well, brilliantly.
I love explaining the War of 1812 to Americans.
That's between Russia and France, isn't it?
No, that's Canadian and American. They pissed us off.
Oh, right. That's a different 1812 war.
Yeah. That's the War of 1812.
Yeah, but
I believe there was another war around that time frame.
yes, there is, because of Tchaikovsky, the 1812 overture.
Right.
That's a war between the French and the Russians.
Right.
Which is, I think,
But in
June
1812, which has been written out of history, right? Because the Americans definitely don't want anybody remembering it. The War of 1812, we got pissed off at the Americans. We fought them all the way back to the White House, and we burned the White House down.
I thought it was the British that burned the White House down.
Well, okay. In 1812, Canada was still under British rule.
Ah, okay.
But it was the Canadians that did it.
Mm.
But yeah, that's been written out of history. They don't teach.
So if you
that
wonder why the White
in
House is
history.
white, then all you have to think is blame Canada.
Yeah, no doubt.
I haven't seen that movie in ages.
I like what South Park did, the spoof they did on Blame Canada, and the song they made up.
Ah, it was genius.
Yeah.
Absolute genius. Although Terrence and Philip, good grief. Yeah, talk about being foul-mouthed. Although you know that piece of music that Terrence and Philip sing. Da 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 ya da da da. Shut your face. That one. There was one point we actually played it. Yeah, it's in the movie.
Which movie?
It's in the South Park movie.
Oh, okay. See, I never actually watched the South Park movie.
Ah, you should do.
I watched a couple of episodes of South Park here and there. I've never caught the actual movie. The World of Warcraft episode, I watched that one, and the Blame Canada song.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, Chocolate Salty Balls.
Yes.
I had to watch that one.
Now, yeah, you'd have to see the film for that. The Terrence and Philip theme is what I would call it. But
Okay.
the language is definitely choice.
Okay.
But there was one point we actually played it as a play on for a comedian, and he looked back at us as if to say, "What the hell was that?" Because the language is most definitely choice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What's the most polite way of saying it? It would be basically shut your trucking face Uncle Trucker.
Okay. Well, South Park was never known to be politically correct.
Oh no,
Sure.
certainly not. Apparently they've got a special come up where they basically completely gender swap all the characters.
Why can I find that funny? Why can I find that? Why is that
Well, let's see now. I think it's another reason why movies are dying, because they have a nasty habit of putting politics in their flipping films.
funny? You bet. And then the other guys that make fun of those politics when they put it in their films. No doubt.
Yeah, exactly. It was the Shake the Weight episode. I've never seen it, Mr. Duthus. Oh. Come on, game. Thank you. Yeah, South Park is one of those. It's one of those you kind of. I mean, there's quite a few people that watch it, but it's one of these where you might mention it in an office, but definitely the humor is not safe for work.
Nope.
But still, it's
I don't think anything from South Park safe for work.
Still, it is incredibly funny.
Yeah.
I think there's certain parts of Family Guy that are like that as well.
The one I don't get is Rick and Morty.
I've never seen it.
Getting that one.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Mm.
I'm a little like, how is this funny? Confused on that one. Because I've watched it. It's supposedly on a thing called Adult Swim or something in Canada here.
Yeah.
Like it's an adult comedy. I mean, okay, well, alrighty, no problem. And I'm there on most adult comedy. No problem. I can follow it. Whether I find it funny or not, I mean, we all got our own tastes, but
yeah,
I will at least see the comedy of it. And that's one where I'm not seeing the comedy. It's not, whatever. It's not clicking with me.
No, yeah, each their own, as you say.
Yeah, no, I get it, but a lot of times I can at least see the comedy. I mean, at least it's visible to me. That Rick and Morty, I'm sitting there staring at the TV, going, "How is this funny?" You know, like where's the jokes? Where's the laughter? Where's the? That's where I'm at. Okay, alrighty.
I can't believe this. These bees are actually spawning on top of foundations.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I'm dead.
Uh-oh. Do you need help?
Well, it's all your fault.
Well, we both need fault.
Yeah, but hang on. It was your fault. What? You didn't come to help me.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay.
God damn it, D.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Okay. I'll have to pay for that later on. All right.
Oh, yeah, you will.
I'm good.
Robot Chicken. Yeah, there's some bits in Robot Chicken that can be quite funny. I think some of the Star Wars stuff is really good. 100 Years Rick and Morty. Well, I don't know. The characters look a little bit. Is it kind of a take on the characters from Back to the Future?
I'm not absolutely sure. I watched the one show and I've never watched it since. Because, like I said, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, and I was left. I don't know. I don't want to say dumbfounded because that's not quite the way it was. It was
okay.
I was just left looking at the TV screen, going, why? Like why? Like what's the? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Yeah, I said and I don't want to say anything bad about the cartoon because I mean, if somebody could kind of explain the comedy. I also, it might be generational. Right? Because, well, I think I mentioned this before. I showed Fritz the cat to my grandson. He's old enough for it, by the way. I know I'm saying grandson, and people are going, horror of horrors, Fritz the cat, are you kidding? Well, my grandson is in his 20s.
Okay.
So, yeah, I showed my grandson Fritz the cat. And he was looking at me the same look I have with Rick and Morty. He's looking at me like, why are we watching this, Grandpa? Like, I'm not getting the comment. It's a very political cartoon.
Okay.
Like, I can show him Fire and Ice. I can show him Wizards. I can show him a bunch of the other, fantasy, sci-fi style cartoons that are out there. And he gets them. And he totally understands it. And, heavy metal and, all sorts of other different ones out there. Yeah, no problem. He's with it. He's laughing all the way or enjoying getting the story and all the rest of that. But I showed him Fritz the cat, and he's just like, okay, why are we watching this? Like, what's the... You lost me here, Grandpa. What's going on? Right? Why am I watching this? So I get it that maybe Rick and Morty is out of my generation gap, I guess.
No idea. I mean, it's the same with British censor. We have various British comedies. I don't know how well they translate to different audiences.
I'm not a Coronation Street fan.
Neither am I.
But, well, I got a daughter-in-law that's grew up in London, grew up in Britain, and she loves her Coronation Street. Okay. I know a Danish couple love their Coronation Street. Okay.
Besides, there's far too much. There's far too much vibrato on that trumpet. I'm thinking, good grief, dude. Are you playing your trumpet on a spin dryer? Is that what it is? Unless it's a cornet, but it definitely sounds like a brass band player. I'm thinking, oh no. No, don't, no. Not brass band, please, no. No. No, I'm allergic. To think I used to play and conduct brass bands. And
yeah, you bet.
Yeah, I used to play and conduct brass bands. And I found the ultimate cure, was it? The ultimate cure? Jazz.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, that's what cured me of brass bands. Jazz.
Okay.
Playing in big bands and that kind of stuff. And I got into well, not just like the traditional kind of stuff like Glenn Miller and that kind of stuff, but I got into things like Tom Kubis, Bob Florence. Trying to think now. Oh, Gordon Goodwin as well. Gordon who? Gordon Goodwin is the guy. So if you've ever watched The Incredibles, the big band in that is Gordon Goodwin's band, and it's also he composed the music. But he's also done his own stuff as well. Brilliant band. In terms of technique, in terms of writing, it's superb. Although speaking of big bands, if you don't mind something that's a bit more Christian orientated, Denver and the Mile High Orchestra is really good as well. Right, okay, let's see. I think I'm practically there. I'm just doing a check around. Okay, so that merges to that, yeah. Why would it merge? Has that been fed from this belt? It's alright, this is where you start questioning your own logic. There wasn't a break, Cuba. We just got carried away with building and chatting.
Yeah.
You never listened to big band. Ah, okay.
I played in stage band in school, and yet I never listened to big band either. Just wasn't my style. Yeah, I don't know.
I think for me, I mean, I was in my teens. I was in my mid-teens, and I was going through the school system, and they had various ensembles. And one day the MD, the wind orchestra, said, "Have you thought about playing jazz?" I said, "No, not really." And next thing you know, I ended up in the Birmingham Schools Jazz Orchestra, and the rest is history. Then ended up in the Midlands Youth Jazz Orchestra, and yeah, and just got to absolutely love playing jazz.
I get it.
Okay, so that goes there. I think.
5.
Therefore, I am.
Plus 375. Wow.
I reckon I've done it.
Okay. Gary, you there?
Yeah, all I've got to do is just belt the coal now.
Yep. I'm in the same. I was just waiting for water to get all done up in here.
Cool.
I like to prime my whatchamacallits with water first. Then you fill them with coal.
Mm-hmm.
Then you power them up. That
Right.
way, by the time you power them up, they're full of coal, full of water, and they're ready to rock and roll.
Because Muggins has now got to try and get the... I've got to try and get the belts down now. And also... I've also got to upgrade the miners. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, Wolfgang, when it comes to like over-the-top Christian. I get it. Particularly Christian contemporary music, which can start sounding very similar to each other. You know, one Christian music song sounds like another Christian music song. But I think the main reason that happens is more down to getting congregations familiar with those songs.
I'm gonna grab a coffee, a coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Although, in order for it to be belt time, hang on, I need to fly over to the factory quickly and grab a few things. I'm mixed on country music. Some I'm okay with, some of it I'm not keen on. Although the chap you recommended to me was really good. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Wow. That's quite a sight. Look at that. There's the main factory. There's the power plant. I'm going to have a look at and see what Dee's been up to.
I'm back.
Okay, cool.
I had to get a coffee.
Yeah, don't blame me.
It was one of those. I had to.
Oh, I checked into renting a nurse to put in an IV line for your caffeine, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
She was a bit out of my price range, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good. Especially when it's just for coffee. Yeah. I mean, if it was life-threatening.
Well,
now, if there was no coffee in the house,
that
might be life-threatening. Yeah.
Yeah.
But me and my wife, no, we never not in this house.
Well, I've got some.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I've still got some beans in the fridge.
I was gonna say we got 2 bags of beans down in the cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
So no, there's never not coffee in this house. Okay, I'm all hooked up, rock and roll. I just increased it by a whole bunch. We're now 3,150 capacity and production.
Ooh.
Max consumption is sitting at 2,300.
Nice.
And that's just one line.
That's one line.
That's one more. Well, it's 2 lines of 12.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm making, yeah, there we go. Way better. Oh, wait, hang on. That's not connected. Hold on. Let's do this properly. Hang on.
Technical issues, please hold.
Technical issues. Hang on. So now we are 3,600 megawatts. Consumption is only 900 some.
Yeah.
And max consumption is 2,300. So we're way above max consumption. Way above.
Yeah, and then we're going to have another 1.8 on that.
Right. We are at, here, I'm at 2 lines of 12.
Yeah.
And I'm making 375 compacted coal a minute. Right, without too much problem. Although the belt bringing in the sulfur is starting to lag behind a little bit.
Okay.
Which is fine, because I'm not using all that compacted coal anyways. That's a future.
Are you doing
future-proofed it.
Are you doing your fuzzy mathematics on this one?
Well, there's a bit of fuzzy math here.
No, okay.
I'm future mathing this. This isn't fuzzy math. This is future math.
Oh, okay.
In the future, we will have MK4 belts or MK5. In the future, we will have an MK2 miner up there, or an MK3.
Gotcha.
Because we do have MK2 miners.
Indeed.
Right? And it's fully overclocked. So we will have an MK3 up there fully overclocked with MK5 belts. This will produce 375 compacted coal, and you take 375 and you divide that by 7.14, and you get 52 of these. And then on top of that, I got 3 more lines of coal to come in and service and supply whatever else is down the road.
Well, I can certainly confirm that tower looks very blue.
Yes.
In fact, in some lights, it looks almost a slight purple tinge.
Well, that might be how it comes out. I agree. Especially the front of it comes out a little. Yeah.
It's almost Cadbury purple.
We can adjust that. Kuba was asking, is there a way to tone down the blue a bit? I kind of gave him a no, there isn't, because it has to be blue. I wasn't worried. You can always tone down that color a bit. Always.
Push
Not
gun.
a problem.
So how much have you got to do yet?
Well, okay. So the foundation of the place is in.
Yeah.
Meaning the water tower is in. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got 4 lines running down to supply those 24. But later on, when we go to MK2s, we'll be able to double each one of those lines to 24.
Okay.
Or 12 each, or however you want to look at it, right? And then those MK2s will then get extended and redone, but not a lot of reworking, right? You just continue the 2 water lines and continue to do what I did.
Okay. So have you got much more to do now?
Not really, no. No, I'm kind of at an impasse. I tried to plan it for around the 4-hour mark.
Well, I have to say, in that case, you've done rather well. In that case, you can come along and take a look at what I've done.
Yeah, no, that was kind of the plan.
Yeah.
I know you're up here somewhere. There you are, over there. Okay. The British paratroopers coming in. USAF. Or I mean, British. What would they call RCAF? No, that was the Royal Canadian. What was the British paratroopers?
Not the Commandos.
RAF.
That's the Royal Air Force.
Royal Air Force? Yeah, but that was the paratroopers. Weren't they part of the Royal Air Force?
No, well, there's a particular parachute regiment. Okay. I think they're part of the army.
I was kind of wondering. And you did get your slugs respawned.
Yeah. Mind you, that's kind of handy.
I wouldn't complain.
Oh, that's new.
Slugs. What?
The connectors on the hypertubes, they've got lights on now.
Oh, they got little blinky lights. Okay.
Yeah. They didn't have those before.
Oh no, the one on the light in the bottom?
Yeah.
The green light?
No, I've got a red light. I can see red lights.
Yeah, because there's a red light and a green light.
Yeah. Next, they'll be playing Squid Game. Good series.
I never actually watched it yet.
Oh, fantastic series.
Okay.
Definitely worth watching if you have Netflix.
No, actually, I let my Netflix lapse. I
Damn.
have Prime because I'm watching Prime stuff, but I let my Netflix lapse.
Yeah, main thing I'm watching on Prime at the moment is Elementary.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying.
Mm-hmm. Loving that show. Although I think I need
Bugs
to...
back at the base again.
Yeah, everything's respawning. It's odd.
Okay, so you are
Yeah,
north of this location, aren't you?
yeah, keep going north.
Or are you connected now?
Not quite.
Oh,
So
I get you. I
basically,
see
the
where
power
you're going.
plants. So as far as the power plant is concerned, so all the generators are in, all the belt work is in, all of the pipes are in, all of the power's in the sense the lines are in. But what I need to do now is actually belt the coal back from the pure source and also upgrade the miners. That's it. At which point we're up and running.
Gotcha.
But I can always do that off stream. Because that's a relatively straightforward task. It's a bit, it's more busy work really when you're doing that kind of thing.
Oh. Watched Carnival Row. Carnival Row. I recognize that name, Wolfgang, but isn't that a movie or a TV series?
That's better. I'll just wait for you to get over here.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Doing the same thing. Slide jump, slide jump, slide jump.
Yeah.
Series on Prime. I'll have to watch it, Wolfgang. I'm kind of stuck watching The Wheel of Time right now and hoping for more Rings of Power.
Okay.
Then there's, I can't remember the other one. The Boys and what's the next generation one?
Gen V.
Gen V. That's, you were telling me about that. So I got that queued as my, what I'm going to try to pick up, you know what I mean, and watch next.
So there you go.
So I'll add Carnival Row. Yeah, a little more spread out. Okay, cool.
So you're going to have 240 belts coming in. Those split off to 120 on each bank of 6. So that leaves, basically, that means you're going to use 90 on either side. So that means you're going to have a 30 overflow. It's exactly the same design as I had before with 24. I've just doubled it.
Okay.
And then with
I gotcha.
with the water, basically for each bank of 6 there's a turbine at the end supplying 6.
Okay, but water pumps only. Are you going to overclock them?
Oh yeah, that's the point. They only do 120, don't they?
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, in that case I'll put another 2 beside. That's fine.
Derp.
Derp.
Yeah, it would need to be 3 per.
Yeah. Derp. Okay.
Unless you're going to tweak it with some overclocking.
No.
It's 3 per.
No, it's again senior moment.
It's all good. It's all good.
But that, generally speaking, most of I've pretty much done it.
Well, I mean, it's interesting you brought the belt in from behind. That keeps the organization from, you know what I mean, needing
Snarling up, yeah.
It gets all cluttered out front. Like,
Yes, it does.
I elevate my water to keep the clutter down.
Mm.
But
Where
then you're messing around with elevated water, right?
Yeah.
Which then you got to make sure you got it pumped up and you got to make sure things
head
are
pressure and all
running
that kind of
right,
stuff.
and no. You got to all that has to be taken into effect.
Yeah. But I think I've done I can see little bits that maybe I need to finish off, but generally speaking, it's done.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's different from the way I do it. It's workable. It's more spread out.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I don't know.
Cool.
I mean, I got no complaints. It's like I said, that's why I was interested in playing with somebody else, because you are going to do things differently than me. I will always elevate my water lines.
Yeah.
Because I hate having to slide underneath, when I'm walking around and doing things with my water line. I hate having around them.
Whereas
So
I don't mind.
them.
I don't mind if you're sliding underneath them or jumping on top of them, because we've got the Blade Runners now.
No, I'm with you. Like it's not. It's 6-1, half does the other. It really is. Because there's no real difference between the two of them, as far as how they work.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, more spread out. That doesn't matter.
So when this is live, it will produce 3.6 gigawatts.
Yeah.
Instead of the 1.8 I originally had.
Yeah.
So we'll end up with another 1.8
And this
gigawatts.
was, I can't even remember what I calculated mine at.
So I think we've cracked the power for the time being.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're good on power.
I think we are good on power. So that
but
means
we're not about to run into an issue.
No.
Like we're not gonna.
No.
Yeah.
So that means that next time, people, I'm going to have to crunch numbers and figure out exactly how we lay out the main factory and what we need.
I have more power I can build.
Okay, cool.
I don't know whether you need it.
You may as well.
I could put it in to future-proof.
Yeah.
That's about the only. Yeah, like.
Yeah, you may as well.
No other reason for it.
Yeah, you may as well do that.
Other than that, I can't think of what the next. Lag issues weren't. I wasn't laggy today.
Funny
other than
that.
your save, which is fine. No, which is fine.
Yeah. I don't know.
But you're upping your memory and redoing that is good.
Well, yeah,
And
maybe actually putting in the memory in the right way helped.
Yeah, well, maybe that'd be part of it. Yeah. And I had no idea Orlando Bloom was in.
No,
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Neither did I. Okay, so I am going to. Basically, I'm heading back to Basefordshire.
Okay, yeah, I'm the same thing.
Ah, go away. I'm not fighting you now.
The big guys. Yeah, I'm waking up the big guys. Same thing.
I'm not fighting you. Go away. I swear I haven't turned on a setting to respawn everything. Why would I do such a thing?
And I've actually gotten away with. I've only made one blueprint in this one, on yours.
Interesting.
I've only made one. Not that I've, avoided it or anything. I just haven't made any. I made the one. It was for the, whatchamacallit, it's upstairs.
Okay.
It's just a set of 3 water tanks together, which equal the industrial-sized fluid buffer that we don't have because that's tier 5. So I mean that's it. Other than that, I think we're at the end of it, my good man.
Yes, so do I. So with the time approaching 25 to 12 UK time, I do believe it is time. Indeed, it is time. Hang on.
To do that.
To do this.
I'm going to do the same thing. My honey. Wife's taking off.
So I'd like to thank all those that came out tonight. I'd like to thank my regulars, Kuba, Wolfgang, Deethus, and anyone else who tuned into the stream. It's lovely to see you. I'd like to also thank my co-host and special guest, Dee, for helping us out on a Friday. It's always great to work with him, and he's becoming, I'm sure he's becoming a firm favourite with all the viewers out there, and I think he's becoming a friend of the channel, which is always good to see. But if you like what we do, please do subscribe to my channel and Dee's channel. And as I said, Dee's going to be playing the heck out of Conan, and I'd imagine you can catch him doing that. The next stream that we do together will be Sunday, 9 p.m. That'll be Factorio, and then it'll be back to Deal Row Valley on Tuesday at 7:30 UK time. But until then, whatever you're doing, take care, God bless, and enjoy your gaming. This is T-Bone logging off. Good night.